I don't know how to do this. Am I live, everybody? Hello, am I live? Let me check YouTube. Okay, hey everybody. I'm sorry. This is Mrs. Dadman. Um, so sorry. Dadman's getting on. Daisy, if you want to come back in, we are here. Um, Apologies to everyone, um, but we will be uh, doing this wonderful show shortly. And Thank you all for hanging out for a half hour, just talking to each other in chat. We appreciate that so much. You guys are amazing. So, so thank you very much. Um, I don't know what else to say, um, but yes, we're waiting to get Daisy back here. Um, I do. I need. I don't know what I need to do. I think I need to invite you. Let me see how I can invite you. Um, I'm going to put in um, Twitter, Miss Daisy, um, Blossom, the link. Let me see if I can find you. Here we are. So here is the link for you, Miss Daisy, to come on. Um, and yes, we are all okay. Just yes. So, but we are so sorry. Um, That man's getting himself collected, and then we'll be on. I just sent you a link on Twitter, Miss Daisy Blossom. So that is there for you. Um, yes, I didn't even do a countdown. Isn't that's just yes? So I didn't even set up the stream. So let's go get this all set up. We're gonna put there's Mr. Dad Man there, and we'll get the background that we want, which is um, this, and we see two people in the stream. That yay! We got Dadman and can we hear you, Dadman? Is everything you
Hey,
there?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. I
Okay.
sent Daisy the link. I'm so
She's
sorry,
already got
everybody.
the link. She's right here.
I know. I'm sorry, everybody. I had a technical difficulty of technical difficulties. So, hey,
Can you hear me?
yes, we
Yes.
can hear
Hello?
you. Perfect.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah,
Okay.
no
We.
worries. Hey,
Uh,
I've
Hey,
been entertaining. Chat's been lovely. We've been chatting about the movie
well, I've never really been
and
the
how our
fault.
day's going. We were
Wow.
worried about you, but we're glad you're here. So just
yes.
in through the nose,
Okay, as long
out
as
through the
everybody's
mouth.
here, I'm
It's all
specializing in
good.
having different type of technical difficulties, but I swear I set my daggum alarm when I shut my eyes after dinner, and it just well,
Don't
sorry
worry.
everybody. Oh,
Oh, don't worry.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you guys just start the show.
all
Um,
right.
Hmm.
I didn't even do a
Yes.
countdown. I just hit
No.
go live, and I'm
Go
like,
live. Well,
am
yeah.
I live?
Apparently,
Am I live? Am I live? Can
yeah.
you hear me? So,
Well, apparently, I scared a few people, so it's probably better you just went ahead and did that. So,
oh,
but look
absolutely.
at Masters. He got his goal of reaching first finally. So,
Okay.
yay.
Yes, yes.
Well,
I
well,
congratulated him for
All
this.
right. Well, sorry, folks. Daisy, I'm sorry. We're 40
Oh,
minutes
no
late, but
worries.
let me get. I do have to get some tweets out and notifications out. So, uh,
Okay.
I am so
well, I
sorry,
will just
everybody.
stay here while you're doing that, if you don't
If
mind,
you
and I'll just
can,
stay
go
here and
ahead.
I'll just chat with Mrs.
Well, yeah,
Daisy.
because I know everybody loves hearing from you. That'd be wonderful. And
Yes,
yes,
yes.
So,
exactly.
how have you been? How was it? You were at the Twitch Con. Was it fun
Um,
or was
yes.
it different?
It was very different than expected.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's
I didn't mean to put you on the
very hard.
spot.
I know it's really hard. I mean, it wasn't awful.
It just
It's
was
just that
different.
it was very, very different than what we thought it was going to be.
Mm.
And you probably need to treat it more like a conference that a big
Uh,
corporation is doing,
yeah.
and set your whole day up for which workshops you want to go to,
Oh.
because they had a number of different workshops at different times. And we we're all the people that we met, are smaller streamers that we
Hmm.
know on Twitch, and none of them had ever been to this either. So none of us really knew what we were getting into. So we did go wandering around. And Daisy, what's your favorite dino? I'll name a dino after you in one of my parks.
Oh, there you go, studying.
Oh,
Yes.
let's see. Let me think. Wow, that's a really good
You know
question.
why?
Not
Why you?
only do I gotta get blown away by TwitchCon, now I gotta
Oh
think of
well,
dinos. Come
well,
on,
the way.
guys.
Oh,
Well, the way you're talking, we homeschooled our kids, and we used to go to homeschool conventions, and
Uh-huh.
they had a lot of workshops, a lot of seminars or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call them. Now, did they have like a floor that where like you could go and buy stuff, or was it more just conferences?
So it's the thing itself was in one of the halls that's 3 stories high.
Mm.
So the ground floor was mostly the food court, and then they had the vendors area. Now a lot of the vendors that came were trying to sell you either very high end computers that we couldn't afford,
Hmm.
or different programs. We did run into one corporation that we're looking at behind the scenes
Right.
for avatars. And then they had a tabletop gaming area that had, in fact, they did Ticket to Ride. I did not get to learn how to play the game. It coincided with one of the few workshops we made, which turned out to not be good. So I wished
ugh.
I'd have stayed and played to learn Ticket to Ride, but you don't know that
That's
going in.
what's so hard with some of when you
Yeah,
go to something like that. You unless you know who the speaker is and you have a proven
correct.
track record, it's hit or
Yeah.
miss. Some of them suck, and some of them you're like, oh my gosh, this is like a gem, and you're so happy. I
Uh-huh.
understand that
Yes.
totally.
Yes. So the
Yes.
first floor was more like the vendors. And then they had the loot cave area where you could buy Twitch merchandise.
Hmm.
And then they had artists, but not a lot of them. And most of them were, say, well, not really painting. It almost looked like, what do you call it? Kind of like tagging on a wall, almost
Graffiti,
almost
like the
like
graffiti
graffiti,
art,
almost like graffiti art, but it was on like pages.
right?
Um, there were probably that 16 by 20 inch
Hmm.
size, of
Interesting.
different characters and things. They had a lot of that.
Is that were they like
Um,
caricatures and stuff like that,
yeah,
or
we didn't spend a lot of time over
no?
there, but they
Oh
had
yeah,
different things. So, like, if
right.
you were into like fairies, they had,
Gotcha.
beautiful sprites and those
Hmm.
kinds of things. If you were more into scary things, they had some, Halloweeny going
Right.
through graveyard kind of deal
Hmm.
or whatever. So, yeah, they had that whole area. We didn't spend a lot of time in there. We did wander around in the loot cave. Some things were ridiculously priced. I thought they might give you a discount because you were there. No,
Right. No.
no, no.
No.
And then the second floor was the workshops. And then the top floor, there was an area partitioned off for in Twitch. You have the first monetization is an affiliate,
Affiliate, right.
which is what Liam's channel is. And then the next one up is partnered, and you need 500 followers and certain number of hours and blah blah blah
Right.
blah blah. We're not there yet. So that third floor was their kind of meeting quiet area for the higher end streamers.
Hmm.
So we didn't go up there, of course.
Right. Might have been for like
Um,
networking and stuff like that.
well, yeah, or just trying to get away from us rabble. I have no idea.
I don't know.
All
They
right.
did have meet and greets. The funny things about the meet and greets is that we kept scrolling through all of those going, I don't know any of these people. And they would be the big names on Twitch. So it was really
Right.
funny that none of us had heard of them.
Ugh,
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Well, a Hungry Boy
no.
commented on your thing about the art style, and
Uh-huh.
he's saying that he knows that the art style that you were talking to about, and he says a lot of graffiti artists go into con art, and it
Mm-hmm.
become a thing of interest. It became a thing in internet comics for a few years. So
Yep.
Yes.
they probably were taggers, and that they moved over to this to I don't know, legitimize and make a living. Good for
All
Yeah.
right.
them. Good for
Hey, good for
them.
them. It's,
Hey. Eh,
better to be painting on pieces of paper rather than the sides of someone's wall.
Yeah.
all
So,
right.
And there was one more I saw up here. I'm
Oh, I like
yeah,
this
I'm
one
sorry,
right
I'm not
here.
reading chat.
I like this one right here. I don't know. At this point, I think that'd be a great way to do with you two
yes,
ladies. Y'all are on fire.
yes.
All right. I think I
But
got myself together when
okay,
you're
well,
done
I'm
with
gonna
this
come.
one.
I'm just gonna say, hungry. Yes, I thought that was really cute. I did that because I tried to theme his little avatar over there in the corner with whatever they're talking about. And I love
Yep.
this one from M Cubed. He goes, Dad man was a dead man sleeping the little death away.
Well.
So, but now you should be all pumped up and ready to
Yeah. I
go.
also
Well,
spilled
you
all
know
my
what?
water in the floor in here. So.
We found him and we gave him a sip out of the Last
The
The
Holy
Crusade.
chalice,
Grail.
the
The
chalice.
chalice. We gave him
Yes,
some drink from the chalice. He's all good, Chad. It's all fine.
yes, yes. So are you all calmed down and everything? And
Not
uh,
ready, not really, but it's
you needed to. We'll talk. I
no,
can.
I know I'm good. No, everybody's waiting, and
Hey,
I got it together.
We can chat
It's
Chad's
more
ear off.
more annoyed, embarrassed, but it happens. But hey, you see life around here, folks. I guess that's a good thing. Tonight
Well,
is as
the
real as
thing
the
was,
real gets.
I wasn't even aware of what time it was because I was playing a video game.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I had my alarm set, and it did not set, and then
oh,
I'm like,
So I
holy
was
crap!
about to DM you, Mrs. at about the time I heard your voice in my headphones.
oh,
So I
Yeah.
came back because I was gonna
okay.
just say, hey, is everything cool? What's going on?
Well,
Just worried.
Yeah.
I saw that in the text, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I miss that DM? And I looked and said it wasn't there. And so,
Yeah,
oh, good, you did. I did not miss
I
it.
didn't get
Whew.
that far because you
Oh,
started talking, and
oh,
then I
good.
went, okay, so I don't need
Uh,
to do that.
Okay. Oh, okay. I would have been
uh,
horrified if you sent the DM like 20 minutes ago, and I'm
I
like
don't
Oh
know.
totally
no.
oblivious to it.
Oh well.
Uh,
Well, rule number
Eh,
one: never take a nap before you stream again. So,
or let the missus know.
well, I thought I
yes.
told you. Anyway,
Oh,
it's all confusing,
yeah,
but
who
hey.
knows? So,
So,
okay, well, you guys have a wonderful
all
stream.
right. Well, it proves one
Okay,
thing.
thank
I will
you.
sleep. Sleep through the Twitter notifications when because I got your DMs, but I didn't hear them.
And I
Don't
just
worry
thank
about it.
everybody that stayed. That's really
Yes.
cool. Thank you
I don't.
guys
I
so
don't think
much.
of anybody that
Yes.
has. Everybody still. If y'all don't mind checking back in, it'd be cool. Let me say. Well, we didn't do the countdown. We did
No,
everything cool. So Masters was first. Let's say hi to Masters. Masters, good to see you tonight. Daisy, I'm so sorry we didn't get to talk beforehand, but thank you.
Oh, no worries. No
Well,
worries.
that's
It's
why we
all
did a
good.
pre-production meeting a couple nights ago. So
Yes, we
it's always
did.
good. Okay, sorry, and I'm sure this guy was upset and worried. So I'm sorry to scare y'all. I just took
Oh
an
no,
ill-timed nap,
don't
but
worry about it.
and I
It's
will,
all
Daisy.
good. Hey,
But
you
you
know
know
what?
me. Yeah.
I just entertained chat while you were gone. I did keep saying I have no idea what's going on, but I'll stay here with you guys.
Thank you.
thank
I
you
can't
so much.
I can't do anything with the
And
stream
normally
because
I sent.
you're
Well,
the
even
one
if I
that runs the stream.
Yeah, and even if I sent you the StreamYard link, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have mattered.
You
So,
wouldn't have
but
been able
hey,
to
No,
get
wouldn't have.
on.
Yeah.
no. Now I hope I did send all the notifications out. So hopefully we got more people coming. And if not, hey, we got 7 people here that are going to be wonderful with us, and we're going to have fun talking about this classic movie tonight. I in part was kind of wondering if we should put it off. But I guess no, everybody's here. We
Hey,
planned it for
whatever
now.
you'd like to do. I mean, it is, it's 10 to 6. So I mean, we could chat about whatever and do this. You're really, really busy human being.
No, it's okay. Let's do it tonight. Everybody here's playing down here. We're just about an hour late. We'll just go for it.
And
Yeah.
you know what? If it gets where it does long, do a part 2. If
Yeah.
it gets to where you just do a part 2, and I think that would be
Yep.
really cool. That is my 2 cents.
Okay.
Love
Well,
Sounds
you
thank
good.
you.
guys. Love you guys. I'm gonna let you go so you
Okay.
can start, and
Okay.
I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Oh wow! Well, welcome everybody to At the Movies. And I see that the missus fixed the background before I even could think about it. So we got our wonderful Indiana Jones and so.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we got Stunning and Brave Megatron here. Hey, good to see you. Now, I appreciate y'all for y'all that stayed on and that lurked. And Daisy, you're out here. Masters really needed this. I cannot resist as long as it's bad. They ended up. Oh,
Yeah, he was in the
exactly.
hospital today.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you still here though, Masters? We will not stop. We will do this tonight. We will do this tonight. So, and you know what? Even if we have to do not just a part 2, even if we do it again, we could spend two episodes on this one again. One of Connery's best films. Actually, I absolutely agree. So,
Yes, we were talking. So
yeah.
Hungary brought up that the comedy aspect that so Connery's comedic timing was almost better than Ford's, and I was saying yes, but the other thing is that this movie does not allow. I've probably put it in there somewhere. It doesn't let the comedy rule the movie. It knows when to be funny. And then when there's something more serious going on, it allows that to breathe. Rather than more modern movies tend to, man, if we're not having the audience laugh every 30 seconds, then we're not doing our job. And sometimes a movie really needs you to hold on a moment when it's not funny.
Well, sort of like what the Marvel movies have become,
Correct.
where there's
Correct.
there's everything's a joke to where you don't take anything seriously. Yeah. I got that, and we'll explore that more as once we get started and rolling through here. We will definitely get going on that. So let's see, Daisy, I like it here and love the fact the comedy is there, never expense of the story. As we usually have to wait for the star coming, Tim Segler. Oh, I got it, Rachel Segler.
Yes,
well, at least I'm still free. I'm still free. Hey, StreamYard. I mean, YouTube took another one away, so I'm back to 494. We're getting close to that 500. We just have to laugh.
We're gonna have to wait till you're at 505, just in case they decide to take 4 of them away.
We normally do that. We normally wait before we keep saying stuff because it's like invariably, like when it hits 500, we're going to wait. I've seen other streamers do that too before. But I love Masters. Daddy.
Yeah.
We're here.
Is anybody out there?
Well, folks, you know what? We like to be real around here. Well, if this does not show you real more than anything else, hey, I just let's see. And then how you realize your point, we'll get into that. So no, and of course you did such a great job. You did such a great job. You did such a great job. We got 10 people now, so hey.
Hey, welcome in everyone.
Well, we love blaming StreamYards for everything.
Welcome to our TED Talk on things happen in streaming, and you just gotta go with the flow. You gotta be like Gumby. You gotta bend with the situation and hang in there.
God, yeah, I've learned how to be much more flexible these days. Late man walking. There you go. Oh my gosh.
You're gonna that one's gonna stick. Late man walking.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, better late than not. There could be worse things to do. And
and then we're glad you're okay, because there was a touch of worry that, hey, wait, what? This never happens.
Yes, exactly. And y'all all chat out here. I'm just catching up with everything. See, make sure I didn't miss anything. And see, Hungry Boy's waiting enthusiastically, so we can't disappoint anybody. We will definitely have to do it tonight.
But then I
Oh,
made a joke.
look at this. Never a dad man has been awaited that much because of Thriller,
Yeah,
night.
and that
Love
I
that.
was singing that in my head. Yep.
Masters, you made my day with that. Oh,
Uh-huh.
gosh. Oh gosh, yeah. I just was trying to catch up. So yeah, I was out. So never fear. If I tell y'all to message me anytime, I might sleep through it too. So anyway, here.
Well,
Okay, I
that's
think
why I
this
wasn't
about.
gonna DM you. I was gonna DM Mrs.
Yeah, and then of course, yeah. Okay, then there doesn't sound as good. Okay, there we go. So we get the applause. There he's old, the chicken killer. Thank you. All right. Yes, and you can hungry. We're gonna have fun with this tonight. Okay. This has been a production trying to get this movie off. It's like somebody doesn't want us to do this movie.
Apparently not, even though, like, okay, I'm not gonna bury the lead. I think it's the best. It's very difficult because the first one is always amazing in this kinds of series
Mm-hmm.
because it sets up everything.
Oh wow, you went
But
ahead. You went ahead right off the bat to say what your movie
I'm
was.
sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
it's
Let's do
very
it.
close. It's
Yeah.
really close. I will tell you, it's very, very close between the first one and this one. But
Uh-huh.
the dynamic between Connery and Ford, it doesn't matter that Connery has this lovely Scottish brogue and Ford is quite American.
Yep. Hey,
You believe that is a father and a son. That
Mm-hmm.
dynamic and the way those two actors
Mm-hmm.
sell that, it's just amazing.
Absolutely. So we are caught up with the chat. We got 9 or 10 people here. Thank you for being here. Sorry about everything being a little ass backwards tonight, is a phrase we like to say around here when it all gets upended on its head. But thank you for being around for our stream with the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Last
A lot
Crusade.
of with this movie. So okay, I just want to make sure everybody's here. We still got Masters and Hungry and everybody that's been here. Thank y'all for staying through. Thank you to the great incomparable Daisy Blossom for engaging the chat through the YouTube feed. Wow, boy, I'll never live this down.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't run the streams, but I have been on the other side of this and gone, okay, we're just gonna have to entertain people as best we can because whatever's happening in the background is happening.
Yes, exactly. So hey, well, thank you everybody for being here tonight. So like I said, I'm still trying to get a couple things organized here with this. But listen, what we have. Well, let's hit the big point. What you said there. Let's not waste any time on it. I was going to put a poll out.
Oh, I'm going to say one thing.
Yeah.
So Hungary, yes. So here's the thing. My mom, it was actually born in England and had a lovely Midlands accent. And my dad, while he was Irish, has an American accent. So when I was a child, I had my mom's accent because in the 60s, you didn't go to preschool and all of that. But then I lost the accent. So I do understand a dad having one accent and the son having a different one. It's just that in a lot of movies for continuity, and I guess so people don't have to engage their brain, they try and make the two accents the same. But even with people who couldn't follow that, it didn't matter. They sold that father and son dynamic very well.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to start us out with a poll tonight, and it's not your favorite with this one. I'm going to say, who's the best supporting character in Last Crusade? Marcus Brody, Sala, Elsa, or Donovan? We'll throw a couple of the bad guys and are they bad guys in there for this one? So, hey. Exactly.
Whoops.
All right. Good. Okay.
Why can I not see the poll? I see a blank white screen.
No. It's on the YouTube. It's in YouTube.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, the poll's there though. Yeah, poll's there.
Well, it disappeared entirely. I can't vote. That's okay. No worries.
It happens at times like that. It does to me too.
Yep,
so everybody. Smash that like button. Hit the like and sub again if you have to because of what they're doing. Hey, Sulla. Hey, there's one already. Stunning went forward with it. Okay, let's go with what you already said. The best movie. You think to you this is the best movie of well, listen, for our purpose tonight, I'm going to only consider the 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, uh, Art Raiders, Temple Doom, and Last Crusade. The other two, just, and we will have, folks. We will have as the show goes on, we'll have another poll. We're actually going to ask you if you think we should review 4,
Mm-hmm.
and for our next movie, because we can go either way with that on that too.
Yeah,
All
we can
right.
do an entirely different non-indie movie, or we can do
Yeah.
the 4th one.
Yeah, Elsa taking the lead. All right, and yes, we have to avoid using that the technical term for the Yahtzee guys and stuff. So we
Yeah.
will call them
Mm-hmm.
the German baddies or German bad guys. So in your chats and stuff, if y'all avoid that word, that way I can
Yeah.
bring your comments up. Just because we don't want YouTube to do weird things and stuff. It's sad because we know what they are, what they're called, but we'll play the game and yeah, else. There you go.
Yeah.
She was all over the place. You know,
Yes, she
you know,
was.
you know what it was. This is one of the funny things. One talking about moments, and we'll get into moments and stuff. It's like when they were tied up when Henry
Uh-huh.
and Indy were tied on the chair and they're tied up, and she said, "It's wonderful." And he's like, "No," and then you realize both of them are sitting there, and they realized that they had the same woman, and like that. It was like, oh my gosh, it was
Talk
hilarious.
about femme fatale, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Talk about, oh my goodness. And
Oh, well,
but hey,
okay. You know,
hey,
it was Connery's accent. I mean, come on, it's the accent.
yeah, exactly. But hey, um, I believe it is to Mrs. may not be around, or she might be lurking, but she hears because I believe Connery was her favorite Bond.
Yeah, he is mine as well. Hungry, that's cute, but that one won't work either.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but now what does work is when Master says, "I do think this was the climax, as I have certain cultural connection to it." Exactly. Oh yeah, and Elsa was designed to be despised, so the script and actress are admirable. And actually, she was not the first one uh, that was going out for the role. It ended up
Ah,
getting kicked around.
she did it very well because
Yeah,
when she was called upon to act like, oh my goodness, I'm a frail female and I need protecting and I don't know what's going on. Me too,
yeah.
Mrs. She was
See,
really good at that. And then when she
mhm,
needed to turn it on a dime and say, "Ha, I'm in on it," you
yep,
know?
exactly. I know, like I didn't do it. I did for the ground, not this fun. And it's like all I had to do is scream, and he's just all I had to do is squeeze, and she said all I had to do is scream.
I
So
have to
you
do is
really had
scream.
somebody that you didn't know. I mean,
Mhm.
you couldn't put her on one side or the other because you didn't know. She was going. You didn't know really where
It
she
was
fell with it. So we call
yeah.
it. Well, that's one name, and also, yeah, that I guess that could work too. Oh
Hey,
my
I just
gosh.
use the game Yahtzee. It
Yeah.
just works easier for me, but
Yeah.
you guys do your thing.
We got some creative people that know how to
Yes,
like
very.
talk in codes and stuff like that. So let me see. What am I doing? Let's see. Yeah, one of the other things I needed to bring up here that we use as a resource is usually the IMDb and the
Mhm.
Wikipedia because I had actually some stuff that I planned for tonight, some interesting things. So let's see if we could try to recap the movie from beginning to end, and then we can go
Mhm.
back through about various parts that we wanted to talk about. How's that sound?
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right. So what we have is, this one was
It
Indiana
opens
Jones and the
differently.
Last Crusade opens differently. Now,
Mhm.
last night I got in a little bit of trouble, yeah, because when we had the big mega party on my channel,
Mhm.
uh, with a lot of people, I kind of was in the minority with people like Hungry and Clobby and Mark, because apparently people love the Temple of Doom intro. You know,
Mm-mm.
which to me was like,
Mm-mm.
why that I want an adventuresome. I don't want a Broadway musical in my damn adventuresome straight. You know, my adventure movie. You know, it just didn't fit out. It was such a bad opening. I like this opening because even though it was archaeological at its base, and we saw a really young Indiana Jones, and we actually saw a lot of his early childhood, a lot of wrapped up into just what, a 20-minute scene. We found out
Mm-hmm.
why he was afraid of snakes. We found out why he was kind of the way he is with his relationship rates in the family, in the household with his dad. Do you have any thoughts about that opening compared to maybe some of the other of the movies?
Um, I liked it. Sometimes, I mean, it's very cool because you kind of go, okay, this is where his hat came from, and the scar from, he cracks the whip and gets himself. I mean, but sometimes you have to be careful with those things because sometimes it's like, well, okay, but you don't really need to tell me everything. I
Mm-hmm.
did like seeing him as a kid. It was it was cool. And I did watch the TV series, the Indiana Jones TV series, where he is younger, like he is in this movie. Um, so yeah, it was interesting. I,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I felt either way about it. Again, by that time, we'd seen the first movie. Then the second movie opens with this singing and stuff, and went away from what I was interested in. Oh, what? Oh, you're laughing at me or the chat?
I'm laughing at you because I was like, yeah, because you're like me. You just
Yeah.
it was okay. Sorry.
So then when this one starts, it's like, okay, I'm just ready for whatever you guys are going to throw at me because you're going to start all these movies different. And okay, let's go with this.
Yeah, because it just felt like to me that this was an adventure movie. It was it felt more like what I expected than the last one, than Temple of Doom, because Temple of Doom had just
True.
hit you out of nowhere, and it was like beat you over the head out of nowhere. And
True. Yeah, it went
that's
on
what
for
got
too
me.
long.
Yeah, it was like somebody's last night said, "Hey, plug your girlfriend, promote your girlfriend thing, like
Mhm,
selfish
mhm.
claim right in the middle of the show." So and yeah, and I think I don't remember the timing of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, but it was kind of like that in a way. You got to see him off an adventure, but it got it back to the archaeology with Across the Coronado, and you had the
Mhm.
chase there early on, and nobody got hurt. It was really really fun with what happened with that. It just it
Yeah,
was
the
a
horse
great.
versus the cars.
Yeah, is exactly. It was, it was, and I think it was a little different. It wasn't like the first movie where he was right immediately in a really life threatening situation with the headhunters and
Mhm.
and Bullock and all that. So it was a bit of a different thing, but it was still, it fit more for what the movie was and what we had versus the second movie. So, but all right. So then we basically we have that part of the movie. We have the intro with him. Then we see see from that he goes back to being we get to him in the future as an adult and being pressured with class. You can see he's not necessarily on the best with his dad, and we get you see he gets his mail and sent to the university and all that, and then we start finding that ominous scene, like when the car pulls over, like Dr. Jones, yeah, and and he gets in the car with guys, and so you're thinking, oh, what is this? And it kind of seemed to happen out of nowhere, and then we go to the it looked like a condo where Donovan lived, Donovan's condo, and we get the
Yes.
exchange with the grill. We're introduced to the grill legend. Donovan's out collecting all kinds of stuff. Uh, Talking about being on a project for um, looking for the and Indy's like, well, hey, I'm not the expert, that's my dad, and he's like, and that's where we learned that that his dad Henry's the project leader that went disappeared.
Right.
And
Yeah, you've
so
got the wrong Dr. Jones.
right. So then we go from that, we go through that. There's a concern. And so then Andy says, hey, I'll take a ticket. Marcus says, we'll take two. So then we get the adventure from there to Venice. And then we have the scenes around Venice where they're looking in the library where Henry was looking with Elsa in different spots. We're introduced to Elsa. Not
Oh
sure
yeah,
what.
because they're
Yeah.
looking for a guy, remember?
Yes.
They don't know that the doctor or whatever that they're looking for is a female.
Mm-hmm.
And he turns around and goes, "Oh, Dr. whatever her last name is. All I remember is Dr.
Schneider,
Elsa
Dr. Schneider.
Dr. Schneider is a female, not they were looking for a guy doctor."
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cute. Very
Yeah.
much of the time that they were depicting, there would be very few or way less females who were doctors at that time in archaeology and such.
Yeah, exactly. It was really, you didn't expect it. Of course, then, we go right into the first chase, real big, well, the intro is a chase scene, but the one involving bullets, had that going around. And then you feel sorry for the poor guys that got eliminated in those scenes because it's like, because at the end of it, it's like, hey, go, friend, bye, walk away. And I just want my dad. And it's kind of an interesting chase scene.
Okay, which chase scene are we on right
now?
It
was the boats. It was the boats after the library.
The boats. Oh.
Yeah.
You've already gone past the he went under and found in the catacombs.
Well, we're kind of I'm kind of jumping a little bit, but we can go back to specific scenes like that.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, and then we got that the chase scenes there.
Yeah, that was scary to me. The boats, the chopping the boat up. That was.
He's like, don't go through. And she said,
yeah,
what?
Right.
You're crazy. Go through. And it's like,
go through.
I'm like, geez. And, so then we get that chase scene. And then back to the hotel. We see that the hotel rooms are ransacked. Like somebody's looking for something. So then that's when they find out that the dad's, because the guy told them in the water, they were going to go separate directions. He sent Marcus Brody to Iskanderun to get Sulla lined up to get supplies and everything organized while he went to get his dad. Of course, they find him in Austria. And of course, they come up with a scene about, they get there in the rain and he tells the guy, tell Lord Grunwald that Lord McGregor is here with us. Do you have tapestries? I mean, how many? We can come.
The tapestries.
And I'd like to come back to that scene a little bit, but basically, we got that go through. We get the first little knock the guy out, and then he rescues his dad. Basically, the Germans turn around and get him caught because the scene Elsa was where we find that Elsa's a double agent. Well, actually, first time it was her first turn there. So basically, we got that. They're left in the lobby, and then of course it's like we have the scene that a telegram came in from the highest levels in Germany that eliminate the American conspirators, and America's declared war on Germany's declared war on the Jones boys, and then they go to do it, but then we find in the scene with they go through there. I do want to come back to these scenes where we can spend a little more detail. Basically, then they go in to start a fire and stuff, and then they get out, they escape. Then they come to they have to outrun some of the Germans on the bikes, and then they come to the first stopping point where they have to hit the crossroad. And I do want to come back to the crossroad just after that a little bit later because I have something on that because we have a tense scene there. And we can talk about this a little bit later in the context, specifically when he says a certain word that triggers a emotional reaction between dad and son. And then it's about the book. And so then they fade out, and then you start hearing a march, boots sound, march, and then you realize they're going to Germany itself. And actually, there's something with that song too. But they go get the book back because we find out that it had maps in it. Uh, uh, the maps went one way, and what was in the book were there were other warnings, like the 3 challenges at the end that we'll see later. So they get the book, get a gondola, or I don't think it's a gondola, a helium balloon back. They take out the radio, but then the balloon turns back, goes to Germany. So then they escape with the plane from the balloon, and we have a little adventures down on the beach, and then they eventually get down to Skandarin, and then we see the big chase. The chase in the desert with the tank and the scenes there. A lot of shooting, fighting through the scenes, and then they do come back together in the desert, and then they move to the end of the journey into the canyon of the Crescent Moon, and into where the Grail resided. And then we see, everybody's been sacrificed. Of course, it's the cannon fodder guys. They all get sacrificed, whose heads roll and all, and until we have the scene where, and we can talk more about this. I'm just trying to get to the brief through this real quick, because there's so many great scenes in this. And so, folks, if there's scenes in here, please put them out there in the chat of scenes that you want to talk about. You want to hear us about that? Yeah, Zeppelins. You're right. But then basically, what does he do? He shoots Henry Jones to say, "Hey, what do you believe?" So Indy's then forced to go confront with the book, understands, interprets it. First is the penitent man, and then he passes that challenge. And the second is the word of God, and then there's a challenge for that. Then there's also the breath of God, which is the leap from the lion's mouth. And then we see Indy makes it, gets in there with the knight, who's still very ancient, but he's still alive.
Mhm.
And then Donovan and Elsa come through. Our bad guy decides to let the scientist figure out which one is the cup, and obviously does not choose wisely. And
yes, he chose poorly.
Yes, exactly. And then we have the he comes back out, gets his dad healthy, and all this, and it's happy there for a moment. Then the Grail's on the ground. Then Elsa tries to run out with it. Then we see she ignored the warning. So then there's a big earthquake. It all, because it's not going to leave there. And we have the kind of a parallel scenes between two. Elsa slides down and she's trying to grab it. And Andy's like, "Hey, help. Give me your hand." "No, I can't." And then she falls into the crevice. And yes, folks, there's spoilers. This movie's how old? Yes, so old. Yes, exactly. So I was 19 when this movie came out. So, oh man. So then it was just interesting that he slides down because of her, and he's in the same situation wanting to grab it. And then his dad is there. I won't spoil it right now, but a really powerful moment there that got through to make him change and take his focus. It was like the Grail. Some of the legends have always been that the people would chase the Grail to their death and stuff like that. It's in their sight. They would keep going, but he did. His dad, he got pulled back up. They escaped out of the cave, and that was it. And I definitely want to talk about the ending scene too. That was a classic one. So
yes.
Oh my goodness! So that, my friends, is the quick version of. Hopefully, I didn't do that too bad with the recap of everything from beginning to end. Let's take a look at where our poll is sitting right now. Oh my gosh, we got 8 votes. Who's the best supporting character in The Last Crusade? We got Elsa's leading 38% to Sala, and Marcus Brody at 25%. How about that?
Cool.
And Donovan's got
to see it, so you'll have to keep me up to date.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can't see it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I know, as we got enough other things to worry about. So, hey, but yeah,
I don't know what I'm kicking Tushy in right now, but thank you.
Okay, well, Hungry said that was a good recap, so okay, I'll take that. So, all right, Daisy. Before we get started, we can follow scenes in order. We can figure out. Because I went back and last night made some notes about some certain specific points about things that I had with this in this movie. We can either let's talk about the movie from beginning to end in terms of scenes that jumped out at us. What was the first scene that jumped out at you, or did you had something that really got your attention with this movie?
Mm, wow. Um, I kind of like the part which is quite far into the movie, when they're, the Indiana and his dad, and they're working together in the library,
Mm-hmm.
or they're trying to figure out. No, because his dad's not there. Indiana's in the library, and they're trying to figure out how
Mm-hmm.
to follow the diary, and they're trying to do the X marks the spot thing, which was very
Mm-hmm.
funny. Um, but when he went down into the catacombs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's terrifying in there. There's rats and yuck, and you're running around, and there's,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like her, there's skeletons that are kind of falling out on you and all that. But they take a moment of time in the movie to show reverence for the knight, who, I believe there were 3 knights and they were brothers, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the one stayed, and then the other 2 left and would have gotten old and died. And so
Mm-hmm.
the movie lets you take a moment to take in, here's this knight who left his brother and came out into the world to let the story be known, or whatever his thing was. But they gave you a moment before they flipped the coffin over and did all that stuff.
Right.
But he was doing the rubbing so he could finish,
Mm-hmm.
to finish the map part, what it says. And I've actually done rubbings like that when we went back to England. You can do that in some of the cathedrals on the
Mm-hmm.
floor. People are buried, and so you can do rubbings or etchings off the top of their gravestones and the markers and stuff. It's really kind of cool. So it
Right.
reminded me of that.
The only thing with that scene that got me was when they had to go underwater. It's like, well, wouldn't that have ruined the etching you just
And
did, the
what?
rubbing
Yeah,
you just
that
did?
did run through. Yes,
It's
that would
like it
run
just.
through my head. Yes.
But I agree with you. It's a great scene. The like Masters had said something, and I think this is part of what sold it. That Elsa seemed more or less genuine, more so than we
Hmm.
get in a lot of characters these days. Because at that point you really didn't know. You really did
Well,
not know about that.
the
You
other
didn't.
thing about the paper is that it's possible that it had a sort of a wax to it,
Mm-hmm.
because the thing you'd be using to rub over it might also be more like a wax crayon rather than just uh, the lead from a pencil.
Right.
I'm not sure that's what they were going for, but yeah, it did run through my mind. Well, wouldn't it destroy the paper he just did? And yeah,
Yeah.
at that point, you still think she's on their side,
Mm-hmm.
because she is
Yeah.
terrified of the rats and
Yeah.
everything else.
Well, and then I thought it was so funny that he's like, my dad would never made it
Yeah,
past the rats.
you made it past the
Which
rats. Yeah.
I found interesting juxtaposition with him, because you saw, like she said, you're giddy as a schoolboy, and you saw that, and I think that's a credit to Ford's acting right there. Was he really
Hmm.
sold that enthusiasm at that moment? But it's so funny coming him taking glee in his dad's fear of rats when we got Mr.
Right.
Anti-Snake guy
Right.
saying that about somebody else.
Well, and
It's
don't some
crazy.
of us do that? Like, we all have our own little fear, and yet when it's someone else's, you go, well, that's silly. Why are you afraid of that? Because you yourself aren't afraid of it,
Right.
and it's your dad, and he's afraid of rats, and you're not.
Mhm.
Haha, Dad, you're afraid of rats.
Well, I know. And I tell you, the acting went with the dialogue, like that. Just a small line like that. She said, "You're giddy as a schoolboy." Well, we didn't have grumpy pants, like, there. I mean, he really acted that way. You could see that the line actually meant something. It wasn't just a thrown away,
Hmm.
um, just a thrown away line, something that didn't make sense. Um,
Well, and later when Indy says the line, you know, we went into the catacomb and we found the resting
Hmm.
place of the knight, and and the and his dad want his like, you saw him, he was there, and that reverence again to, they're both archaeologists, maybe
Hmm.
different divisions of it, but they're very into that. And then of course he goes, well, you wouldn't have been able to go because there were rats. And then Sean Connery's face kind of crinkles up like, oh, rats, there were rats. Like, of course there were rats in the catacombs. I mean, what did you think, sir?
I know. I know.
Have
Well,
you never been to a city sewer system like that? I mean, come on.
rats, gators, everything.
Yep.
And Hungry said you're correct. Taylor's pencils are wax based and repel water.
Yeah.
So all right. So now they're China pencils and can mark glass, cloth, etc. So, but is Dr. Jones Sr. scared of snakes? That we don't know. I don't
We
think
don't
we
know.
got an answer about that. But hey, that is awesome. We got 10 of y'all with us tonight. Thanks for being here. We're talking about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which we from the very outset said is our favorite of the three
Mhm.
movies. I'm going to let it run a little bit longer, and then I'm going to ask the chat that we have here um, what their favorite of the three movies were. Well, I'll put the fourth in there just because that way we have fourth. We'll leave the new recent one out just for good measure. But oh my goodness, and back to what you said too, with like you said early, like we talked earlier about the little Indiana Young Indy Chronicles that we got starting with this, and you talked about how he got scars and stuff like that. That was interesting to see the whip too, because
Well, yeah.
the whip was one of those things. And hell to you, OC Dobbins, good to see you tonight. How are you doing? So.
Well, the good thing about that was it showed, because we've seen him use the whip for all kinds of things and he's
Mhm.
quite good at it,
Right.
use of it. But when he first picks it up, he ends up whacking himself with it because it is not easy to use that. You see it in movies and go, oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, no. You need to know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
so I thought that
exactly.
was good too.
Yeah. And hello, Lisa. Good to see you tonight.
Hello, Lisa.
Yeah. So, I mean, there were just all those things that had added up into different things together with that. We saw
Mhm.
so many different facets of Indiana Jones just introduced in that first 20 minutes.
Well,
And
and
how
it
he
made
got the
it
hat
more
and how he
real.
got the
How he
hat
got that.
too.
It made it, a lot of things in this make it more real because you could laugh, in the first movie, okay, come on, Indiana, the great Indiana Jones is afraid of snakes. Well, it turns out his dad's afraid of rats.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes them human. Indy didn't know how to use the whip right away. He had to learn to do that. And it just, all of it was, all of those little things that fly by really fast tend to add up to the setting and making it believable because, I mean, you're sitting in a movie theater and you want to be taken away to this adventure, and if they do all of these things, your brain is more likely to just say, wow, this is amazing and I'm right with the movie, rather than they don't set it up well and you're just, well, I can't even hang with this, you know
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does make sense. I think if you went back to, and I should have done that, is to go back and add all these little things up in that first part of every little detail that we uh, learned about him in that, because it all added up. Because I got stuck on the hat, but then again, you see the mark, the injury, the whip, the snake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all these things together, we really in 20 minutes learned a lot about this character, more than we spent in a lot of movies over 2 hours.
Correct,
It was
correct,
really
yes.
it was a
And it
brilliant.
was more than, you got into more than one character. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even Elsa, you got to see both sides of her. There was more development in her character, and she's not the main bad guy. then as you say, you can watch movies for 2 hours and sit with one character and go, I don't feel like I know this person any more than when I walked in to watch this movie. And in this movie, you felt like you knew these people and why they were doing what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It is. I just, it stuns me how when you sit there and think about something like that, and they seem like they're small things, but they're not. When you look at the totality of all of them, we learn a lot about this great character in this. It was not boring. Like, hey, stop! I got to stop to tell you about everything. Indiana Jones was born, like boring lecture.
Mm-hmm.
Like Indiana Jones was born in blah 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 blah. He
Mm-hmm.
went to blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah. This was like fun and fast and in the flow of the action. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just was. And like you said, just how they did it effortlessly. Again, I think
Yeah,
this is one of Spielberg's great movies. Because they did it. They didn't have to stop. They didn't have to. Uh,
well, you
it
didn't
was.
feel like they were talking at you. They felt
Mm-hmm,
like they were talking to you, like telling you a story.
mm-hmm,
Not, okay, now we're going to introduce, we've waited all this time and now we're going to introduce Henry Jones Sr. and blah, 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 blah. And he's into the Grail and he went to this school and, and he was not always there for his son and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, that's boring. They did it
mm-hmm,
in a very cool way.
mm-hmm. Exactly. Hungry said, written by Dawson C. It's good writing and directing, and it all tied
Mm-hmm.
back to the point and advanced the
Mm-hmm.
plot and the character at the same time.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, this is one of those scenes, I will tell you, watching it years ago, this is one of the ones I always skip through. It was not as bad as Hungry's wonderful Broadway throwback in the second movie, but I've grown to appreciate this scene more as I've gotten older. For the
See, I
nuances or
liked
the
it right
details.
from the beginning.
Yeah. See, but and the thing is to understand this, you had a brilliant character study in like 20 minutes right there. So it's like, hey, you learned, if you had not watched anything else about Indiana Jones, this little segment would have told you everything you would need to know later in the movie. How he gets the script, just, it was really, really, really good. I mean, it's like, they took 20 minutes to do what some franchises take 2 movies to do for a character and still
And
don't
even
even,
then, correct. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it was the one sad part was how he came up to, he was proud. He saved the the cross of Coronado, and he was excited. Barges in excited, but his dad silences him. And you see the sternness, and he walks right into this, and he doesn't argue with his dad after, he's like, but dad, and his dad corrects him, and then stops and starts talking, counting, and then it's into the Greek or the Latin, whatever it was. And, you're just like, I'm just sitting there like, Dad, why don't you just say, cross the Coronado? It's like the missus tells me sometimes, get to the point, just say, Dad, cross the Coronado or something. Because then maybe his dad could have helped him or not. But you don't,
correct. Yeah. Well, and his father was a little more, it was a good way of showing the dad has a certain way of wanting people to communicate with each other. His son is young and not a doctor of archaeology yet, and there are rules and regs about when you say things and who you interrupt, and a little more formal maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And his son is just trying to say, hey, this is what just happened, Dad. You did it, and his dad's like, no, just chill.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me that way. So.
Yeah, exactly, and that is true. Yeah, I say that in comic, but yeah, it is true. Some, how they wrapped up into this, but he it's just so frustrating for him. And then they had the scene, and I thought this was a brilliant bit of the work where they did it with the guy said, you might have lost today, and you don't have to like it, but he took his hat off. The fedora it's a fedora, right?
Yeah, it is a fedora.
Okay, the famous fedora. He takes it off. He puts it down on his head and tips his head down, so it goes out of sight. And then next thing you know, his head pops up at storm in the middle of the sea, the raging waters and everything else.
Well, and I don't think the hat entirely fit him. It seemed to me as if it might have been just a tad larger than his head at the time, because he still would have been a teenager and would have grown into his young man self. So yeah, when he tilted the hat down and then let go of it, and then there's rain on it, that was a very good scene transition.
All right. Yeah, it truly was. And then of course we get the first bad guy of the movie popping up again in there, it's the second time I had to get my property back from you, Jones, and it belongs in a museum. We had that. So hey Wade, good to see you. Yeah, I'm doing really well now. So, but hey, I know.
Sorry, I'm doing something else, chat.
No,
we're typing in the background chat. I'm so sorry.
We have to keep.
I'll stop being distracted by what I'm doing in the background, people.
No, we're communicating, because tonight has been an improv night. Tonight we lost
it has been, yes.
We lost a bit of time tonight, so we probably will have to do a 2-parter, I would think. So we'll have to see when we can do the second part, but we'll see. We'll go through and get this. We'll go. Well, okay, thanks. Well, we'll go do whatever we can do. Yeah, let's do what we can do. We'll have fun. And let's see. Sorry, I don't. Yeah, so
we can't listen. Chad, we can't type and
talk. You're bad like
neither of us.
We're needing to communicate, but you're as bad. You're bad like I am. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. But yes. Oh, and even Hungry is like yelling for a 2-parter. So we will do this justice, folks, tonight. We'll be sure to do it justice. We're not going to rush it in. We'll have to either we'll do it next month, or maybe we'll do a special one if you're up to it one night. We'll see what happens. So
the only thing, chat, you need to keep in mind is that next month is November, and there's for the Americans there's Thanksgiving. And I'm also going to be away for a little while because my hubby and I are having a very special anniversary that ends in a 0.
Oh wow, congratulations.
I could say which one it is. It's our 40th wedding anniversary.
Wow, congratulations. That is
thank you very
amazing
much.
And awesome. That is so cool to hear. But hey, and well earned, well deserved, my friend. I know. So
he is the love of my life.
Like Hungry said,
sometimes he drives me crazy.
Well, we all do. It's a job of every husband to do that to their wife. And like Hungry said, take your time, guys. Let it breathe, like the film managed to do. LOL. Absolutely. It was a well-paced movie, well-paced everything else. And actually, as you look into it, there were things that they took out of this movie that could have added more time in it, linked into it. It could have added some kind of controversy and stuff. And OC is wishing you congratulations, Daisy.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. So, we got that scene. We had the bad guy, and of course it's ominous with his hat floating away right by Andy.
Yeah, I know, and I'm thinking, wait. No, that's got to be the original hat, right? He can't lose this. He's out there. It's storming. He's fell off the boat. There's fire and all this. And all I'm going is, no, save the hat.
Yes. Well, I will tell you, I still like Harrison Ford better as Han Solo. Whether he likes it or not, I liked his style. I like the lines. I just like Han Solo. But this movie, and we see Harrison Ford as kind of a studly character. Especially for
a little bit of the rogue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got his
both.
He's got a little bit of the studly character with it. He brings, you see back even into, I think it was the first movie where all the girls really liked him, and so he was definitely the attractive non typical academic type. So he was just like, we see it through it, but there's other scenes that we see the same thing with this. One of the ones, that I thought about was when they met Dr. Schneider in Venice.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously he's obviously expecting a guy. That both of him
Mm-hmm.
and Bertie were expecting a man, and then all of a sudden, Dr. Jones, and it's like yes, and it's Dr. Schneider. We see he's female, and I swear you saw a change in his body language. It went from
Mm-hmm.
hey. Hey, it's like man on the prowl, cat on the prowl, hey, ladies here. So, and you could tell it. And I just like the banners because, he's like, you know, she's like, you look like your father. See, oh, you have your father's eyes. And he says, and my mother's ears, but the rest belongs to you.
Uh-huh.
I was like, dang,
Suave.
it was so, and Marcus Brody is kind of like that. Would y'all guys stop it? Get a room
Yeah,
type of
right.
comment. Like
Yeah.
we're here for serious archaeology. It's just that was a
Yeah,
great
you cut
scene.
it out.
I mean, it seems like that. There's also back before that, before they left the states. With Marcus Donovan in the suite. You know, you know, the conversation with him and Donovan was very serious. About the father, about what they had talked about,
Mm-hmm.
and when
Well,
he finally decided to go because his dad was missing, once he realized his
because his
dad
dad
was
was missing.
right,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
the fights he had with his dad, which you
hmm
got from the beginning, was he and his dad didn't see eye to eye, and that was difficult. But the minute he found out dad was missing, he's like, yeah, I'll go.
yeah. And then at the plane when they were about to fly off, he said, "Don't trust anybody." You know,
I
that
know. Oh my
it
God.
was. I
Eh,
mean that should have been obvious foreshadowing, but it was
Yeah,
a
because she
really
was telling him, don't trust anyone.
yeah. And Hungry
She
saying
said
yes,
it
body
too.
language, half the battle, and cinematic storytelling. Absolutely.
You need good actors who can pull that off with it when it looks natural, not when it looks like
Mm-hmm.
I'm acting like this, rather than wow, I just believe that person. There is an attraction between these two people, or
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to have good actors. You have to have good writing. You have to have good cinematographers and the director. And
And again, to me, it's like this movie fit together. Unlike the
Mhm.
Temple of Doom, where they had this Broadway show that they kind of pulled back into what they made it. It just this everything seemed to fit for me. Maybe I'm just too picky, but
No, I just think it's very funny that you're the whole movie and you're focused on the beginning of it. It's very cute. It's very
yeah,
endearing.
yeah, it just was like that still stuck with me. I think that's probably why I did not like Temple of Doom for so long, because that scene really just felt so out of place for me. So I've judged the whole movie in terms of that context.
What I didn't like, oh my God, I've forgotten her name. The lady that just screeched and whined and cried all the time. The lady who did the singing number. What
Oh
was her
yeah,
the character's name?
oh gosh, you guys in the chat know it. We
Yeah,
should know that name. Uh,
I know we should
hey
remember.
lady.
So I didn't like her right from the start, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to Marion from the first movie.
Yeah,
And then the whole this is a cult and we're taking out beating hearts and all that. And I just went, yep, no, no. I don't
yeah.
like this
It was
movie. No, thank you.
Kate Capshaw was the actress. The
Yes.
gosh, I can't forgot
No,
the
what was
character's
her
name
name
in the movie.
in the
Yeah,
movie?
we
You
knew it
guys will
last
get it.
month.
Chat's
Everybody knew it last month because she was the poll winner last
I'm
month.
sure they're all Googling it frantically for us right
Yeah,
now.
why not? Yeah,
Come
that
on,
that is
chat. We,
awesome.
we we know you can do it. Anyway, she
Yeah,
drove me crazy because she was just, and I get it. They were trying to make her that way because in that time period, that's how women would have been seen as, oh no, and oh my goodness, and I can't handle being out in the middle of nowhere, and all I want to do is go home, and and I broke a nail, and all that
yes.
would have been very common. So
Willie
like
as Willie, not
that was
Doe, but
Willie.
Willie.
Oh God,
Yes,
yes, Willie.
she was annoying.
Oh
Oh,
God,
even
she was so annoying. She gave
Hungry's
me a
mom.
headache.
Oh God, she's.
Oh.
Oh gosh, but yes, Willie was a great one. But let's take a look
Yep.
at our Let's
Yeah.
so at least this was different in this case. But let's see. Let's look at the poll. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. So
Mhm.
we've got who's the best supporting character in The Last Crusade, and Elsa wins overall. I will end the poll with 11 votes. Elsa won with 45% of the vote. That is
Oh,
impressive.
I
I
wonder why Elsa won the
wow.
poll.
I know.
Child.
I saw it. I mean, I see. I will tell you. Um, I, well, we can go ahead and talk about this part now, because see, one thing that I made notes about last night were certain characters, and really the backup characters. So exactly the weakest link. Let me do the next poll, and the next poll is let's see. Let's see.
So
Should we do
Hungry
which is
Man,
your
laugh
favorite?
it up.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the which is your favorite. Well, the last poll will be what should we do next. So, which is your favorite indie movie? Um, let's see. I'm just going to put Raiders,
Yeah.
Temple of Doom. Let's see.
Crusade.
Last
Well, you
Crusade.
could put the Last Crusade if you want, but
I'll put it. And
and
we
then
will
the
put
Aliens.
and Aliens. Aliens ripoff. Okay.
Correct. I'm pretty
Aliens
sure
ripoff.
Alien and Aliens both did it better.
I put Aliens ripoff Nuke Fridge. How about that?
Oh
The
my
movie that
God.
tells us you can survive in
The
a
Fridge.
refrigerator. So, and stunning like Salah. So, hey, absolutely. There's some great characters in here. And one of the things,
Yeah,
like I mentioned,
Marcus had some good lines,
yeah,
especially a little later in
hmm
when
because we're going to
Indy's
focus.
saying he'll blend in, he'll hide, you'll never know he's there, and then the
Mhm.
next scene is he's walking around asking if anyone speaks English.
Yes, I know. What I like with this is, and it's so easy to focus on Sean Connery, and we will definitely give him
Mm-hmm.
the proper attention in a bit. But
Yes.
when I was thought about this was specifically, see, I don't consider him a supporting character. I consider him like a lead or
Yeah,
a,
co-lead.
a co-lead because of one of Sean Connery's uh, reputation, but also because of the importance that the father is in the whole movie. But like the three and we focus on Elsa too because she's so familiar. She's so into everything. But John Rhys Davies as Sala was once
Mm-hmm.
again coming in the Old Faithful. He's able to get Indy supplies, horses, cars, all this stuff. Well acted by John Rhys Davies, who's done so many things,
Yes. He is such a great actor. I
and
mean,
even
he's
played
been in
Gimli the dwarf in the Lord of the Rings
correct.
movies. Yeah.
Yep. And he did that very well. Yeah, he and the camaraderie between he and Legolas, how they disliked side note, how they disliked each other because one is an elf and the other is what did you
It
just
still
say?
counts as
Yeah.
it still counts as one. I can't do the voice like Hungry could do it, but it still counts as one. So
What
yeah.
still counts as one?
Oh, in the movie about a big elephant and the Return of the
Oh,
King. Yeah.
right. That still counts as one. Yes.
Yes.
And you can see them become friends over the three movies. And then it's in the end, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm not going to die with the rival. I'm going to die with a friend.
Yes. Exactly.
So,
Well,
but his acting,
yeah.
so many different characters he's played, and he's not the leading guy. So for a quote unquote background or secondary character, he does them exceptionally well.
And he's got a presence in
Mm-hmm.
every movie, even as a backup character. I think was on one television show, I believe, at one point. This thing where they Sliders, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
He was so many things. Good in that.
And that's where I think some actors excel as those background characters, and I think it's easy to be the lead actor. A lot of times, it's harder to be these that fill in the gaps and in the background. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you tonight. Exactly, and yeah, and actually, that's another one that whole Gimli Legolas dynamic was in the books themselves, and they happened to capture it in the film very, very well. So,
Yeah, I
Another
like Sliders too, Henry. Sorry.
another actor that I want to talk about. We had talked about Marcus Brody, Denham Elliott. You remember the
Hmm.
first movie I'm really familiar with him. Well, of course, he was in the
He was in
first
the first
Raiders,
one. Yeah.
but he was also in Trading Places. He was the butler. You know,
Really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What? I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, another great actor, another great
Hmm.
person, great roles. And you know what I liked about this one was that they had him out on the adventure. It's like a farewell to Brody too, because it would have been
Hmm.
easy to have him like in the first movie, or just have him back stateside, just simply with, uh, just attending to the university and stuff like that. But they got him out in the field, and we actually got to hear him talk. You know, in the first one in Raiders, he was more of the academic, the bureaucrat, the
Hmm.
running things, and even in this degree. But we actually got to see his acting ability. We got to see him engage. We got to see him talk, and we got to see him in action. Heck, he got knocked out in the library, and poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. I know.
Yes,
See, because he was more what you think of as an academic.
yeah,
Yes, he knows a lot going on in the field, but he kind of is at university and he's helping to shape the up and coming students. And to see him, okay, you get taken out of the classroom environment, plopped into this, you're
mm-hmm.
in the field. And he probably was in the field when he was younger, but it had been a long time. And now he's like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of this craziness. What do I do now? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, and hi Tig, I'll get to your comment in a
Yeah.
second, but good to see you tonight. Um, but we got to see the passion in him. He's not just it's like he got we focus on the chalice bringing Henry back to life, or
Hmm.
keeping him from dying. But I mean, watching Marcus Brody was like the character came back to life. He went from
Hmm.
this stoic guy monitoring the school and all this, to the passion, the whole thing about the search for the quest, and his
Hmm.
observations, like in Venice over the map, he's like pointing stuff out to Indy that Indy didn't see. And then
Hmm.
throughout the whole thing, you could see the excitement of the character growing. He wasn't just this stuffed shirt. He
Yeah, and
actually
he
was
wasn't
passionate.
just an academic that was, you know, kind of in that role. You, as in that role, you're constantly teaching the next
Mm-hmm.
generation of whatever it is. And so you're kind of stuck dealing with their questions, which often are the same one over and over again each year, a new set of kids. Now he's out and reconnecting with why he got into this field in the first place.
Yes, exactly, and it just you see the passion of the characters, and again, get back to the point with the actor and these actors
Hmm.
pulling this off. We're learning, these characters. This should have been the goodbye film, with the way they did these characters. I mean, we saw Sulla as he was, we saw Brody as he was, and then a passion, and then now later we get it. It's times moved on, and I won't spoil tonight's mood without that. But we got 12 great people with us tonight, and hey, Teague, good to see you. I'm going to hit one more actor in this. Um, Now, because I will go back. Temple Doom was the best one. Hey, and you know what? You like whichever you like, and that's awesome. And I tell you what, when I told Daisy Blossom when we talked about Temple Doom, I before despised the movie, but watching it now recently, I actually liked it. I actually found a new appreciation for it. And that's cool. If you like if you like that, and agreed, he doesn't always have to be at the school, but I still think that there's certain bad guys that we're going to kind of have to talk around in circles, unfortunately, before naming them. To me, they make these movies. They're the best villains of any movie that you can see, and
Hmm.
library scene suffers from super bad props, like the bookcase is erratically filmed, and that could be true. I mean, you got a good eye for things like that. I may kind of overlook it like that. That's like when the missus and I watch a movie; she's into watching that stuff, CGI and things like that. I'm just kind of like some things I don't notice, but that's just the way I watch a movie, and I'll.
Well, they did go
Hi,
for the
Squeaka.
comedic. Hi,
Squeaka's coming in for a
Squeaka.
quick hi and drop a like. She
Love
loves you,
you.
Daisy. So hey,
Love you
love you back,
too.
Squeaka. Good to see you again tonight. Um,
So at the beginning, when he said to his, Indy says to his class, X never marks the spot. And then, of course,
right.
they make the big X on the floor.
So
And then the whole
yeah.
break in the tile with the stamping of the books. I can see where that's maybe a little on the overblown. However, it was still kind of funny in a
But
serial movie kind of,
again, back to your point that you said earlier, this movie had humor, had lots of
Mhm.
humor in it that was not over the top. Contrasted, like I
Correct.
used the Thor, like Fat Thor. I mean, everything in
Yeah, that
Marvel
was
become,
awful.
yeah, it's become to the point where you have no respect for the character, the movie, or anything else that's going. You're just kind of like, uh, so and
Mhm.
all that. So, Squeaky, if you're still here, make sure you vote in the poll. So, pick your favorite movie. Everybody, pick your favorite movie out there. I do. I do. Oh, hey. Yes, exactly. Thanks for coming to say hi, and hope you feel better soon.
Mhm.
Good to see
Yes,
you,
yes.
but good to see you, my friend. Uh, thank you for coming by. Thank you, everybody that's come by. Take time if you're lurking, whatever. If you're, feel free, share your favorite scenes with us and stuff. We're willing to do a second one on this one tonight because technical difficulties.
Technical
Like,
difficulties.
you can't even trust me these days. It's like now, anyway, we'll not
Hey,
go.
you know what?
Yes,
We
what?
all have we all have evenings or days when things get so it's okay.
That's all good. So, all
Yep.
right. From
The other
our
thing is
pleasure.
if you're lurking in the
Yeah.
background, you don't have to speak in chat, but go ahead and vote in the poll for us.
Yes,
We
exactly.
can't see
So,
who voted, so we won't
yes,
even know you're
and we
here.
will have one more for y'all later. So,
Mhm.
I'll give this one a few more minutes because we're going to see if y'all think we should do the fourth movie next. So,
Mhm.
yep, yep, exactly. So, um, it's all good. Thank y'all for being here. And one other actor, like you said though, the X marks the spot was humor. I think it was effective, but not overdone. Because you tied it back to earlier in the movie when he told the students that archaeology X never ever marks the spot.
Yeah.
So it's
And
just
then and then they're being cute with it because X can mean 10, which is what they're using it for. But
mhm.
it was clever. I mean, you could sit there and go, "Oh God, dad humor," but it was cute. I
It
mean,
was
it was.
it was a cute humor without well, humor can be good. The missus and I've talked about that even personally in our personal lives. Humor
Mhm,
can be good, humor can be bad, and it can be personal. You may not intend it to be personal, but too much or at the wrong time, a joke can
mhm,
get annoying. It can have the opposite effect, on an individual, how they hear it, how they receive it. And I think
correct.
that's what's happened with some movies, where you take a respected character that deserves some respect, some weight to it, and you almost made it like a comedic joke. Well, you make it a shell of itself, you know, and I
Mhm,
and that's what this movie did not do. Is it knew how to put the humor in a respectful way without overdoing it, unlike some that we've seen before.
yeah.
Oh, and also you said overacting. I remember Hungry Boy had picked it out earlier. A comment that you talked about overacting is not acting. Um, I had a historical documentary today I was watching, and
Mhm,
I turned it off within a minute or two because of the way the person was presenting the information. It was a serious story, but they made it so dramatic with the way they were reading their narrative.
like melodramatic,
Yeah,
like
it was like,
melodramas.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was like, am I supposed to take what you're saying serious, or am I
Mhm,
not? So I checked out and didn't finish watching it because it's like, to me, this guy may have, it was like a serious thing, uh, and I'm like thinking, expecting you to be serious if this is it had a serious tagline. So
mhm.
you have an expectation. All audiences have an expectation. You know, the like I expect there not to be a Broadway musical at the start of my archaeology movie, but that's another matter that apparently I'm in the minority of. But
Really? Are you sure that's how you feel, Dad? Man?
that,
Because I don't think we've gotten that point.
oh, sorry, I love you,
I
Daisy.
really don't think that you've conveyed that well enough for us to know. I'm razzing you, dude. I'm
Well, the
razzing
one other
you.
thing Dad Man does pound it into the sand 500 till it's well dead buried. But it just their expectations, and that was one today that I thought was kind of funny with with that compare actually making a comparison there, because it was
Mm-hmm.
a serious video or pretended to be a serious video, but with the way they did it, it was like I just like no I can't invest into that. So, all right. Well, we'll have to take up musicals one time. We'll have to have a big
So,
cast panel and talk some musicals. How about that? So, one of the other characters that I saw in this though, Donovan,
mm-hmm.
who became our ultimate overall bad guy in
Mm-hmm.
this movie. What did you think with Donovan?
I think, well, I liked his portrayal. I liked the actor. I think it was telegraphed, probably rightfully so, that he would become the bad guy right when he met um, Indiana Jones, in that the younger one, in that he'd already said, yeah, yeah, I hired the expert, as in the expert is your dad and he's missing. So in essence, I was sitting there thinking, yeah, so you get his son who's an archaeologist, and you're saying, if I can't tempt you by, wouldn't it be cool to go solve this mystery? Then I'm going to tell you, oh, well, yeah, by the way, your dad's missing. And that's not what he led with. And so my brain was thinking, well, this guy's really only interested in the, sorry, oh, food has just appeared. Yum, yum.
Oh, wow.
Thank, thank you.
Hey, distractions. That's always good.
I
That's
know.
always a
I
good thing.
quietly this plate of pizza appeared out of nowhere. It's
Ooh,
lovely.
pizza. What kind of pizza?
Let me see. Oh, it looks like it has it definitely has olives. I think it might be hamburger. It might be
Oh,
hamburger
wow.
and olives.
Oh,
I'm not
cool.
really sure.
Hey, well, if
I'll
pizza.
turn the mic off so I don't bother anybody while I
No,
take a
no,
bite.
no, no. We believe in food asthma around here. But hey, food, let there be cheese.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's cheese on it as well. Yes.
Yeah, and Halloween musical for us and Daisy Blossom Flower Child, Phantom of the Paradise, released in '73 by Brian De Palma, Tegan Levitt, stars Par Williams. Okay, all right. Well, hey, well
Never heard of it, but that's okay.
while you're taking a few munches
Yes, please.
off that, folks, Admiral Teague makes a great point in here. Yes, that Donovan is General Veers from Empire Strikes Back. I did not know that he was a Bond villain also, but Julian Glover played General Veers in Empire Strikes Back and Donovan in the Last Crusade. Very fine actor. This one was kind of different because he actually got more lines than in Empire Strikes Back. We got to see a bit of his acting ability here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just scan detects energy field on the far sector strong enough to deflect any bombardment. Yes, Lord Vader, you may commence your landing. Oh gosh, I love you. He's one of my favorite character actors ever. Just for that one scene in Empire Strikes Back, the couple of scenes he had in Empire Strikes Back, loved it. And so it was a treat to get to see him in this movie about 10 years later, because Empire was in 80, this was in 89, I believe. So, it was interesting to see, because really serious act, really good actor. Actually did not expect it, because sometimes you prejudge people because they only have bit roles here and there, and then when you see them step up into a more a role that involves more time, more effort, just to to actually see their acting ability on display.
Well, and if you sort of have always seen them, as you say, in a bit part, in a sort of a almost typecast sort of thing, and then all of a sudden you see them taking on a bigger role, and in this he's a villain, and then in Star Wars he's this other character. That's always kind of neat too, to see people in roles you don't expect them to be in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's really it was really eye opening for me. I like to see it when it happens because so many times it's like you don't mean to prejudge people, but or limit them, but it's you just you like to see some actors and their talents a little bit more, and not that they get wasted, by bit parts and things like that. Um, you can see it. When you've had any actor that has had a bit part, then they get their break and then they come out. But then again, I like the actors from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, so you never know. Hungry Boy and I love that a lot. So hey, oh yeah, Admiral. Speaking of pizza, Admiral Teague means pizzas you could only imagine: chicken and extra cheese bubbling off the Tannhauser gate, garlic knots burning off the shoulder of Orion. Oh, my friend. Cool. Glad y'all are here with us tonight. Let me go ahead and end this poll. We'll go ahead and close this poll. We already got 13 likes. Our great friends at YouTube Gods took away one of our subs, so we're at 495, so 494. So we're going to have to get that one back a little bit later. So we will go ahead and close this poll with 9 votes because I do want to make sure we have less than an hour left. We will probably have to do a second part. What do you think, Daisy?
It's your stream, sir. I will do whichever. Okay. Why don't you wait till you see where
we go? I know.
See where we go. How far we get, and also what the next what the next poll indicates.
All right. So favorite indie movie was Raiders at 44%, Temple of Doom at 22%, tied with The Last Crusade at 22%. Wow. Our favorite, yeah. And Alien. Somebody voted for the Aliens ripoff Nuke Fridge. So
I figured someone would, just to be funny.
Exactly. So Master out there, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Did somebody call me? Yeah, Hungry and I did one on that a long time ago. So this is going to be a yes/no question. Should Daisy and I review
nuke the fridge? Should we nuke the fridge?
Nuke the fridge. The next movie we look at. All right, the next movie. Okay, should Daisy and I review Nuke the Fridge, the next movie? Yes or no? And there you go. So, the ultimate challenge would be as if anybody dares us to look at this last monstrosity that was made.
Well, I'm not going to go pay to see that movie.
Well, it's out of the theaters.
I love you. Oh, yeah. Good. Only if it's out of the theaters, because I'm sorry. Love you, chat. Not gonna go pay to see that movie. Nope.
Well, we have. Oh no! Please, no election protest here. I refuse to certify that election. Devil Doom is best. Oh, Masters, yeah. Did somebody call me? Yes. Me and Hungry Boy love that movie so much. Did you ever see Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No.
Okay, I'll have to enlighten you on that then sometime. It's really, yeah. Oh gosh, Admiral demands we submit a new slate of results that reflect the truth. Oh, but that's so awesome.
I didn't even okay, chat. I didn't even vote in that one. Okay, so
yeah, there you go. So
it's not, the thing isn't working for me. So yeah, let us know if you guys want us to nuke the fridge. But the fifth one,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin. Aliens is about as out there as I want to.
Well, see,
I don't want to. I want my happy memories of Indiana Jones.
And see, and let's hit that element of it about the ending. When a movie or a franchise should end. Yeah. That was. I know we were jumping all around, but we jump all around on this channel. So, if y'all have different points and scenes, throw it out there. We'll try to make sure we catch it this time. If not, we'll see what happens. But this movie was set up to have the perfect send-off goodbye. When
it was.
When when Henry was brought, was recovered and everything revitalized, and all four on the horses riding off the sunset. You had the John Williams fanfare just blowing out. That the horses in the background, seeing them disappear into the distance.
They literally rode off into the sunset. Literally.
I wonder
if franchise at that point.
And I wonder if Spielberg did that for a reason at that time, seriously thinking that it was going to be the end of the franchise. And what kind of how better of an analogy can you get?
Yeah. especially given the type of movie. These were meant to be back in the serialized kinds of adventurer movies, um, and to and the series, everyone would always go, yeah, 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 and they ride off into the sunset, and they did it on it,
Mm-hmm.
and genuinely believe that was it, and it should have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would, because that's the thing with all franchises. When do they die? When to let them go? Which I
Mm-hmm.
find very interesting. Let's bring another scene into it that I
Mm-hmm.
referenced to earlier. You had Elsa trying to get the chalice, and Andy's like, you're slipping, give me your hand. And then it's like she goes off, she falls into the um
That's just my favorite scene of this. Not
mm,
the her
yeah,
falling off. I
yeah,
mean, that's dreadful.
yeah. And
But the
so,
interaction between Indy and his dad.
and Stunning is saying Spielberg did think, and then but he was convinced to do 4 by George Lucas.
Oh,
So
okay. Well,
well,
sometimes
but
your best friends.
don't help you. Yeah,
No.
exactly. No. Well, and but see, then she falls and he falls into the position and he's getting obsessed with getting the chalice. And then Henry's there trying to say, you got to let, you're slipping, son. You're slipping, son. Then all of a sudden,
He calls him
Indy,
Junior. He
then
said,
it's
Junior, take my
Junior. Yeah,
hand, Junior. He calls
Junior.
him Junior first.
Then he said, Indiana,
Indiana.
Indiana, let it
And then
go.
he looks up at his dad, and then he goes, "Let it go."
Very smooth voice.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah, that just the subtlety with the writing and the change that we see the character
Mm-hmm.
getting to the word, because the whole movie is a quit calling me Indiana. We
Right. Yeah.
it's in
Quit calling me Junior. Quit
yeah, it's
calling me
Indy,
Junior. It's Indy or
yeah.
Indiana. Or
And then in that one moment, they made the connection to his dad. That serious bond of it spoke through. He did not fight it. He did not get mad. It got his attention that, hey, and
well,
it
it was
did. And
his dad's way of showing, listen, son,
Mhm.
I love you so much. I'm going to put aside the name, which would have been the name that mom and dad had decided upon,
Mhm.
and then calling you Junior. I'm going to put that aside. I need you to listen to me now, son. I love you. Take my hand. Don't go after the Grail.
Mhm.
Even though the dad was obsessed by the Grail as well.
Yeah, and he
So
actually
he was
just
letting it go too. He was,
yeah,
my son is more important.
right. It just a lot of emotional
Mm-hmm.
connections right there. A lot of impact right into to that one scene. So so exactly. Yeah, Connery was the keystone in the castle of this film. Subtlety, absolutely. We'll talk about him in a little bit. We'll finish this point. We talked about the backup characters, um, and the ending here. Did you have anything else you want to talk about? I've got a few more things, but is there anything that you really wanted to bring up at this point?
No, we just did my favorite scene. So go
Ah,
ahead and
all right.
move us to what you want to talk about.
Okay, well, just making sure we got it all. So, folks, make sure you've hit that like button. Thank y'all for being here, hanging out. If you're lurking, make sure you follow us on the Twitch side. We see people over there on the Twitch side tonight, and hit the like, hit the subscribe here over on this. Admiral Teague actually in a chat earlier somewhere said he'd buy the 500 subscriber a ham. So I'm like, I've never had anybody say that before or offer that, but that was Teague. You're so cool.
Well,
So
Thanksgiving's coming soon, so someone might need a ham for their
yeah, there you go.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
festivities.
And Admiral Teague saying Harrison and Connery are what, 8 years apart? I'm not sure the
Yeah,
age difference, but
they're pretty close in age,
mhm.
but Connery looked enough older than Harrison Ford. So, but yeah, I don't think they're really that far apart in age.
Yeah, because I always thought Connery was older than he was, because of the way he
Mhm.
said that. Yeah, so yeah, Teague remembers it. He said that he spits by that hand, Admiral Teague. And actually, I'm going to have Admiral Teague on in a couple weeks with football on a Thursday night. So that's also good. Glad you're all here with me tonight. one of the things that's passionate to me is hey, I forgot I got to check out my points, and one of it's the Broadway musical. But you said that I've done enough on that. So you sure that I can't go on the Broadway
Hey,
musical number again?
Look, it's your show, dude. You do what if that speaks to you, let it fly.
Well, music speaks to me. How about that?
True.
Let's take a
It
look.
does.
I mean, this is one of the best, even in the fourth and where the movies are weaker, it still has probably one of the best major theme songs that's associated with the
Mhm.
movie. And not just the theme songs, it's the soundtracks are really wonderful. And the music, the scores always tie the scenes. They advance the story.
Mhm.
They're connected with the scenes. Um, they're so
It's a character. It's a character in the movie.
we
In
talked about
good
this on the
movies,
battles. I'm sorry, go ahead.
yep. In a good movie with a very good um I can't think of what a songwriter is called. What is John
Composer.
Williams? Composer.
Oh,
I'm sorry. If you've got a good composer who has the ability to look at a scene and then write the exact right music to go with that scene, that's another character in that scene. That music is a character. So,
mm-hmm.
and I was going to say, there are people who haven't even seen this movie, young people who haven't seen it. And if you just go dun 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 dun, they go, "Oh, Indiana Jones."
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have to hear the whole orchestra or have seen the movie.
Or
It
Star
becomes
Trek.
part of
I
culture.
mean,
Yes.
or Star Wars. That's got that.
Yes.
Or Star Trek too. Both of them. They all are known for that you get. It's like name that tune. 3 Beats. You know the franchise, and that's how
Correct.
powerful it is. Oh my gosh! Oh no! John Williams is from Hamilton's Hotel Cedar High School for plays music at our football games. No. So and yeah, uh, I I think you mean Daisy Blossom, John.
Oh yeah,
Leitmotif.
no, John,
Late,
no.
what is leitmotif? What is leitmotif?
It's the type. Okay, I may have this wrong, Admiral Teague, and you can correct me in chat. I believe it has to do with a character has sort of a theme
Mm-hmm.
themselves, and then the theme is then tweaked slightly in each scene. So if it's more of a sad, the character's sad, their theme is a little slower and maybe lower tone,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to if it's an exciting scene and then it's faster. I think that is what that means, but I could have it mixed up. Oh, it's okay, Admiral Teague. I am dyslexic for reals.
Oh no.
So
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Daisy will always tell you and be honest with you. So yes, exactly.
Yep.
So Hungry says leitmotif is a recurring melody which is played different ways throughout the film or show. Yes. So he says you are correct.
Yeah.
So see, this is why I have great people here on this channel. I don't know much, but I'm learning things with great people like Daisy and thank you for doing this show with me like you do. We always have fun with it. We definitely have a lot of fun with this, don't we?
Mm-hmm. We do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading chat. I'll stop that. This is fun.
What are some of the other? We've done several movies already. We've done.
Let's see. We did
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
And we did. Didn't we do something with Arnold?
Yeah, Terminator. We did the Terminator.
Terminator. We did the whole Terminator. Yeah, we did the first 3 Terminator movies.
Yeah, don't say the whole Terminator. We there's no way we could do the last ones.
We're not going to do the last ones. No. Yeah, I couldn't keep track of the timeline after that.
What's a timeline after that? So
I have no idea. I don't think they know.
The shark from Jaws, Hannah and Lowe's theme. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, even the shark had a theme.
Well, the shark has the dun dun.
I know. Dun, dun. That's what's so funny.
But the sounds behind it, once you get past the dun dun part, when it goes da da da, that can be played slightly differently, depending on what the shark may or may not do. And then Han and Leia's love theme is played differently in the movie. So yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Well, now guess what? I have learned something tonight. Thank y'all. That's one of the things I love with streaming and stuff is I learned from you guys in the chat and the guests and everything else. So But yeah, this really this even I recognize, I think through all three of the movies, even Temple of Doom, the music was one constant.
Mm-hmm.
It still made the connections. Like in this movie specifically, like uh the
Yeah,
the
you were going to talk about a specific song, but that's
yeah,
not
I
John
will.
Williams, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, but I will get to that. But I'm talking about like in the when after he had to fight the three challenges at the end. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we had the music set, that creepiness and all, and then the environment through it. Like the first one, the
Well,
penitent man.
so
The,
the penitent man. Okay, so
mhm,
here's my thing on that, guys. If you go back and you watch that scene, he gets it. The penitent man, you kneel before God, right?
mhm.
Or you lay on the floor. One of those swords or saws or whatever they are seems to come at such an angle that if he hadn't then jumped up and run, it would still have
I,
gotten him.
I saw that. I didn't
And I'm
understand that.
thinking, did they mean for him to do? Okay, I bow before God only for a short period of time, and then I jump up and run away. I'm not quite sure that's what they meant to convey.
Yeah, because I that has always bothered me with that scene because well, if you kneel before God, then you wouldn't have to necessarily roll, but that was like
Yeah,
tug, drop, and roll because
yeah,
it was like
yeah.
that was kind of
Definitely
odd with
stop,
me.
drop, and roll.
I'm glad you noticed that. That is one thing that
Yeah.
has always gotten me because it's like if he kneeled, but he would have gotten sawed in
Hmm.
half by the thing through the
Yeah,
floor. So
the one through the floor. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
then the next one
Oh,
was a
look at Hungry
dyslexic.
here.
A, oh,
Hey, pin him into Irish Catholic ears perking up.
yeah,
Ah,
I get it.
oh,
Um, the next one is a dyslexic nightmare
oh
because
yeah, I think that Admiral T
because
just
the
said that
name of
too.
the name of
Yeah,
God, and my brain is going, and he was going back with the I and the J, and I'm going, I
yeah.
don't even know how to spell it
The
correctly.
word of God, the
Either
word of God.
one, the
Yes,
word of God.
but I
Because the
think,
first
but
thing I thought of was I am, because God
yeah,
calls himself I am, but
right.
that which was wrong. I'd have died. And then he was doing the I and the J thing, and I'm going,
Yeah,
really? I would have
yeah.
I'd have so been dead.
Hey, lemon pie. Good to see you tonight. How are you
Hi,
doing?
lemon pie.
Yeah, good to see you. So, but you know what I thought with that though, was they gave you the context though with Henry on the ground saying, but in the Hebrew, I think it's, or is it the Latin? It's in the Latin. Jehovah
Latin is
starts with an
one,
I.
and Hebrew is the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, and then you're like J, oh, and he nearly falls in this big cavern and stuff like that. It's like, and he's
So
like,
that was
idiot,
cool too.
idiot. Yeah, he's
Idiot.
like idiot,
You,
idiot, and then he realized he
but he
thought
didn't
English.
die too. That was
No,
another thing. Okay, so the first one
yes,
you
and
have to
hello to
roll.
Lemon Pie said hi to you too, Daisy. So hey,
Hi. Oh, vote in our poll.
yes, exactly.
So
We're trying. Yeah,
in the second one, I'm thinking, well, he did misspell it, but he didn't drop through the floor all the way. So I'm thinking, well, who set these traps up? But the
yeah,
other thing that was really cool is they kept going back to his dad. He's
hmm,
laying there dying,
and the music's
and he's
connecting all of
mumbling.
these. Yeah,
Correct, and it sounds like they're talking to each other, kind of like when you guys,
mhm.
the chat could hear you guys, but you couldn't hear each other.
Oh
It was a bit
gosh,
like that. I know. It was a bit like that because of course Indy and his father could not hear one another. And
yes,
they're both talking it through like they're speaking to one another, which was
hmm,
very, very cool.
wow, yeah. Well, you know what's cool? We got 15 people watching us tonight. Thank you all for this. It started
Hello,
late, but
guys.
hey, we're here at the exact time we're supposed to be here with that.
That's
So
correct. We're wizards. Wizards never
exactly,
arrive late. They arrive exactly when they're meant to.
there you go. And then the third challenge we have there was the breath of God leap, the leap from the lion's mouth.
The leap of faith,
Yeah,
yes.
and that's what it
Or
is.
stepping out into faith.
Yeah,
That oh wow, that
and
was so
that
freaky.
music, and again, the music right there is like you had the tense brought up, and then when all of a sudden his foot hit the bridge, it like crescendoed. It like came back up, and like it got like it was triumphant. It was like
Mm-hmm.
expanding the mood, the scene of like all like glory, like it was glorious. Like there was something important happen, and then of course that theme ran throughout most of the end of the movie, at least in the temple scene,
Mm-hmm.
and parts of it into the cave, into the what do you call it? The little inner dwelling place where the knight was by himself.
Yeah.
So
Well, and so part of it in my mind when Indy kind of stopped, even though he kind of went, oh, okay, it's a leap of faith, but you could tell part of him was thinking he has more of an academic mind
mhm,
rather than a stepping out in faith of the believer mind. And so
right.
he just stood on that precipice going, do I really believe? Because I'm not sure. I'm an academic, you know? And then it's a step down a little bit. So he stumbles a little bit to give you that, oh
Mhm.
my God, he's going to fall to his death, you know?
Yeah, because see, that's part of me that is always, if you take the religious connotation into it, and if, things of faith and stuff like that with him with the academic, and then you see that the bridge is a real bridge there that he just could
Hmm.
not see, I guess,
Yeah.
sometimes your brain can go down that path of like, well, what was it really faith, or was it just, it was there, kind of that type of thing. Yeah, but,
Yeah,
accept it
I
for
guess you
movie,
have
it's
to
what it
have faith
is.
that it's there. Because the other thing he does is even though he stepped on it, okay, and now I can kind of see it. He grabs the dirt and kind of throws it down the
Yes,
bridge
yes,
because he's still like, yeah, okay, I had enough faith to walk this far, but I want to make sure it's really there. I have to see it. Kind of
yeah,
like doubting Thomas, I got to
yes.
see it. I'm sorry. I
I
need to
want to.
see that there really is a walkway here.
Yes, good parallel with that. Good parallel with that. I do want to get back. So with the scene, well, let's come back to the closing scene in a minute. Let's finish with the music here and
Mhm,
some of the emotional scenes. Uh, the mood, the the music, like I said, carried through,
mhm,
connected lots of scenes. There was also a time in the caverns. Uh, at the second marker of the shield, when he's as giddy as a schoolboy, that music, when he
mhm,
realized what it was, when he saw the great, when he was doing the etchings, and it was
mhm,
like, it's like the soft little happy music. Then all of a sudden, when you see the guy strike the match back at the cave entrance with all the
mhm.
petroleum, it changed. It went from bright and happy to like dark.
And
you
it
know
whooshed with the sound of the fire whooshing, the music almost sounded like it was doing the same thing.
yeah, it transitioned you from this happy little moment to back to reality. You're about to die. There's a danger coming. And again, back to the importance, like we said on the Battlestar Galactica stream, that so much of this music is so effective, whether it's television or movies, that without it, I mean, it's such a, like you said, a character, but it is a device to help transition, to help to
Mhm.
connect the viewer with with the the movie, the plot, what's going on. And it's really, you can't underestimate the importance of music. So let's
No, I've
see.
often said, like, if you take the music out of
Oh,
some of the really best. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to
Uh,
read. Tig said, "No, Indy's pretty ingenious. He's resourceful. We're talking over the face up, but you're right. He's going to throw gravel. He's better than Forrestal." Throwback to the first movie, who Forrestal, you know, forgot to, he was not careful,
no, this is
so,
true.
and got caught in one of the traps in the original cave. So
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, no,
If
and
you
they may not be, but I'm just talking from a perspective, when they base the diction so much in a faith-based way, that if you are, you might sort of have questions about it, and it's one of those things that pop up into a viewer's mind, sort of thing. So
Well,
yeah,
even in
it
the
would.
first one, if
Mhm.
you are not of the Jewish faith in the first one, you're probably going to look at that slightly differently than someone who is. And in this one, those who of us who were into the Christian faith or raised in the Christian faith are going to look at those three traps differently than say someone who isn't. So it's just how your mind works and what you
Mhm.
connect with and your own inner monologue for what's going on in a movie.
Absolutely. I mean, I enter monologue all the time with these movies and things like this. It's just,
Mhm.
I mean, we were watching Jack Nightmare Before Christmas the other day, and I mean, like, just, you know, I watch a movie and think
I
about
love
things
that movie.
deeper. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a wonderful movie, but I'm always thinking about things, and certain things jump out at me, especially if there's some reference to it. It just, you can't help but
Whoops.
explore those angles and let your mind run with the conversation. But see, from a religious standpoint, those are questions that I always had about it. It's like,
Mhm.
you're taking it maybe from a secular standpoint, but if you're a person of the faith, then you're going further with it. Then they definitely intended and stuff like that. So yeah, but yes, it
Well,
is.
that's true.
It
Yes, it
is
is.
true, but the level of the importance of the art may vary in a Christian uh, religion
Yes,
versus
it would.
Judaism, where it was in the temple and things like that. So, it's like the second movie with all the India and with the elephants and with just, I mean, there's a lot of cultural,
Yeah, and
religious
I
implications
was
in
not
that one too.
familiar with that. Yeah, see,
Hmm.
I was not familiar with some of what the iconography in that. At the time that movie came out, I knew precious little about it.
Hmm.
So I couldn't quite connect as well with that. And
Hmm.
since the other things that were going on in the movie,
Yeah,
Willie,
Willie.
was
Yes.
making me annoyed, it's like, well, she's making me annoyed, I and I know this is important, but I don't know these references. I
Hmm.
couldn't connect with that one as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Well, let me finish up because we're going to have
yes,
to
yes.
wrap up in probably the next 15-20 minutes. So I don't know where we'll have been by the time is over, but let me go ahead and
Yeah,
hit one more
I
thing.
apologize. I
You
apologize.
you got no apologies. I'm the idiot. I'm the one that decided to not set. I don't know what happened to the alarm. Again, I'm sorry,
Tell me
folks.
about it.
It's
Sorry, and
crazy,
I'm
but
stuffing
it's
pizza in my face. I
it's
apologize, chat.
it's been a blast. I don't hear you at all. So we got 13 people still here with us, and that's
Good.
not including people that have come through or lurking and stuff like that. So what I did want to touch on was one, we talked about music, how this soundtrack has Indy's theme, how the music connects it all together, but it also did something interesting that I thought was very important and effective by setting us in the time period. One of
Mhm.
the scenes, and I talked about earlier, they escape from Indy and Henry escape from the castle, and they pulls over, and Indy's like, "Why do we got to go get the book?" Because Henry was so mad that the book got taken. Well, and
Right.
that's when we revealed that there are three traps. That's why he wrote it down so he didn't have to remember. And
Mhm.
then,
I liked that whole thing. I wrote
exactly,
it down so I wouldn't have to remember.
yes, exactly. It's such a dad comment. So, but it was interesting. I thought it was a, I don't know the right words and all, but the way they wrote them, did the movie direction, whatever. But basically, you had, uh, he corrected his son for blasphemy, and then it's also, and like Andy's sitting there, kind of bruised, thinking, and then you start hearing, you start hearing the music, you start seeing the sign coming, you start seeing the fade into transition, and then we're taken all the way to Berlin with a famous march that was incorporated into this movie as a time period piece, kind of like a time travel without it really being time travel. It stayed within the same time frame. Hello Hollywood, quit time traveling everything. Um,
Oh God, yes.
but it was interesting that this famous piece of music was incorporated into the movie, which was, looking back in a historical context, it reflects a very tragic period of time and of history. But what it did is also communicated a big message of, you when you burn books and things like that, and that scene because Elsa had been called back by the highest levels to attend a rally. Well, it's called the Carn. I can't know how to. I wish JT Kirk was here because he could help me with the German, or Masters might be able to help me if he's there. The Königratzer March. If you
Good
remember the
luck.
movie.
I don't speak German, so you did pretty good.
Thank you. Well, if you remember the movie, you know the song, The March. It's a very famous march song Yes, it's
Mhm.
got a lot of some things around it, but it predates World War II actually. It was
Mhm.
and I'm going from Wikipedia because Wikipedia ties into another music source that I've looked at. So it mentioned that this Königgrätz March is also known as Der Königgrätzer or Der Königgrätzer March, as one of the most famous German military marches, composed in 1866 by Johann Gottfried Piefke in commemoration of the Battle of Königgrätz, the decisive battle of the Austro-Prussian War, in which the Kingdom of Prussia defeated the Austrian Empire. It was Piefke's most successful arrangement of the march. Another march, which is the Der Hoffenberger, commemorated a different battle, is used as a trio of songs. So its commonly played version is set as an infantry march, while an alternate adaptation is as a cavalry gallop. So what we had here in this movie was actually the infantry march one. So, you know, it's uh it's it's the Hearst Wetzel song. Bitte schon, bitte schon,
Bitte schon. Bitte schon.
bitte schon.
I'm reasonably close. I didn't take German, but I have a really good friend who's
Yeah,
German,
it
so
was.
I've heard her say that. Yeah.
See, I'm not familiar with how to pronounce it because it's Ko with the two dots, Koniggra with the two dots over the A, Tzer, and
I think that the two dots make the vowel say its name, but I'm not sure of that.
yeah, but
Someone who speaks German can correct me.
exactly, I agree. But honestly, hey, we're getting pretty good results from masters out there for the pronunciation. Uh, but hey, but listen, but I wanted to illustrate this because it's a use of an established song within a movie soundtrack because they did compose it, they did change it a little bit for the movie for what they did, but it's essentially the same tune. Every composer, you have your music. And they have to fine tune it for whatever they fit it in with. But see, I wanted to talk about the history of this because because a lot of people may think that every song that was there was associated with the people we don't name, the real good bad guys of the indie movies, but it doesn't. It predates that whole time period, and it backdates to the Austrian-Prussian War. And actually, the
Yeah, back in the
Austrians,
1800s.
yes,
Yeah.
and Austrians don't even like the song because they don't play it much because it's affiliated with them losing. So,
Yeah.
so hello. So anyway, hello, the chosen Nick Gears. Good to see you tonight. Hello. Good to see you now.
Hello.
New person. Hey, welcome. Good to see you tonight and everybody else that's here with us. So, yeah, you don't speak a lick of it. Yeah, I don't either. I'm doing the best I can. So, but anyway, this is the history of this song is that, it's, let's see, the first draft was the march is said to have been written by Piefke on the battlefield itself. Confident 6/8 meter composition follows the battle in two parts. And it basically was interesting to see how this song came to be. It continues to be extremely popular as a staple of any modern Germany military parade, whereas in Austria it is heard only rarely because the piece is associated with Austrian military failure. So, like many of the marches of the period, they were used by the bad guys for a lot of stuff and at rallies and stuff. But like I said, it's a song that predates that time. That predates the time period. And that's one thing I just wanted to say to people is this, you know, to give you a little bit of the history of it. This is the type of stuff I like, Daisy. The behind the facts, behind the scenes facts, and stuff like this because I had no clue when this was. They even say that, like many German marches, it's also used by the Chilean army and other militaries that have a historical connection to Germany. And actually, one is the Jamaica Regiment under the name 2nd Battalion West India Regiment. So, so it's kind of interesting to see the history and what all this that we've got here. With 15 people still watching us, Daisy. Is that amazing or what? But hey. So, folks,
welcome,
make sure you hit like. Yeah, hit like, share with us, subscribe to our channel if you're new, and we do all kinds of stuff. The last Wednesday of the month or the nights I spend with Daisy reviewing and talking about some movies and stuff like that. So, Masters has a story about this song. Masters, I sent you an email the other day. I hope you got it. Because I know you talked about a stream coming up that you were doing. So check your emails and hopefully if you got it. If you didn't get it, let me know or let me know on the next stream. But yeah, I like marches. I love music in movies and anything, any entertainment. And it was a brilliant piece. It set the mood for the situation and the scene. So, oh yes,
Possibly. It's
possibly.
possible.
Let me and Daisy talk about that after this. But I'm sure
it could get a little crazy because, especially if you guys vote for the fourth movie.
Well, we didn't say it had to be we didn't say that it had to be the next time.
True, but you don't want to. That would be kind of weird. But anyway,
not necessarily.
We'll see,
depends
guys.
if we have a lot. We'll have to see how it goes. So, but hey, yeah, all right. So yes, and you got it. Cool. Glad to see that. So, all right. Well, that was my thing about the music because it really because I looked into the history of it because I really liked the song because it's emotion. A lot of things, good music sets the emotion of a movie and the tone and tenor. It did. It set it for that scene. That was a good march for that. And if you look at the historical context, it also was proper for that period with that time frame because of the things that were going on in events in Berlin at the time. And it was a very wise choice for songs with that. So, oh no, well, Hungry saying he's just showing us appreciation that we rocked tonight. So,
thank you.
Go ahead, Daisy. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, so in that scene itself, there was, we talked about it. I think we talked about it on Monday or maybe earlier in this stream. I'm sorry. I'm old. So Indy's trying to get his dad's Grail diary back, and Elsa has it. And so he waits for her to sort of be a little bit away from other people, but still close to them. And they have a conversation. And of course, he's holding a gun. And he says, all I have to do is squeeze this trigger. And she says, all I have to do is scream. And so it goes back to what are her motives? What does she want in the end? Like, she is sort of the bad guy, but she really kind of wants the Grail to be found, maybe. Anyway, I really liked that quick little exchange.
See, I always feel bad because I want the bad guy to become a good guy, and you're torn, you're conflicted. She was not somebody you wanted to hate automatically, even when she did double cross Indy.
Correct.
It wasn't just because of her looks on it. She was a nice character that you could relate to, you could sympathize for. And you could see the conflict in that scene because, as an academic, she's watching all the knowledge and stuff be destroyed. And yet it's powerless to do or say anything about it.
And all she could do is hold on to this Grail diary as one book she could save, you know. And as an academic, that would be very difficult to watch.
And she could have still ratted Indy and Henry out.
Yes, she could. She could have.
After he got the book from her. So
correct.
Yeah.
I guess she thought that they had a better chance of finding it than the bad guy did.
Well, it's kind of like it's kind of like the thing is, in that case, she was private. There was nobody around, so she could actually sympathize with them. Whereas in the castle, she had the Germans around, and of course that colonel there that is pretty much, well, what do you do? I mean, you got no escape, and and self-preservation comes in, I think, in some regards, and that's probably what her focus was self-preservation. Instead, at that moment, but in Berlin, it was like there was no immediate danger outside. There was no immediate danger, so she didn't respond. But emotion is really big in movies, and this movie, like I said, with the music, the emotion. But there's so many scenes. Do you? I know we got to wrap up soon, but do you any particular scenes with just the raw emotion that jump out at you?
Well, the two would be the one at the end where he wants Henry Jones Sr. wants he'll give up everything. He wants to save his son.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll give up the Grail, which he spent his entire life hunting after. And
Mm-hmm.
he'll give up his no, your name is my name with Junior after it.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the end, he loves his son more than all of this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that hits home.
Mm-hmm.
And I did sort of like it when Indy says a naughty word, and his father out of nowhere just, and Indy's a grown man, and his dad just slaps him across the face. You know, nope, I'm still your dad, and you're not allowed to talk that way. As a parent,
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of like, yeah, I could. That's
Mm-hmm. Oh, stunning!
But
Yeah, stunning. What happens at 11 o'clock? I forgot about
I
that
turned
scene.
into a pumpkin.
Oh no, you don't. You're young. You're a young spring chicken. Don't start that. But yeah, the fighter, Dad, you gotta use the gun. 10, 11, 12.
Oh yeah,
What happens?
right. Yes. What happens at 11 o'clock?
Oh yes. Okay, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
and then when he shoots the tail off, and
Yes.
then he goes, "Yes, son, they got us."
Yes.
Because he shot the tail off himself.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
So Daisy, so did I cut you off from the second scene? I'm sorry. I got.
Oh no. The one where at the end is the more important thing. And then
Okay.
as far as funniness,
Mhm.
right after that, when Sala is like, "What is this whole thing with Junior? And why does your father keep calling you Junior? You know, your name," and he goes, "That's his name. You know, Henry
Yes.
Jones Jr." And they're all eating. He goes, "My name is Indiana." And he goes, "We named the dog Indiana."
And Sala's like, the dog?
Oh, the dog? Like you're
You're
named after the dog?
It's like, gosh, I love that
And then
scene.
he goes, "I loved that dog."
Yes, I love that dog. And then, of course, Brody's like, Indy, Henry, I'll lead the way. Yo! And then he runs off. He's like about to fall off the horse. And then it's like,
yep.
Henry looks at Junior and is like, got lost in his own library. Yep. So,
Yep.
what's funny that you named two emotional scenes. There are two that were really powerful to me, and both involved when we thought the two main characters were going to die. Mm-hmm. The first one happened at the end of the tank battle. You know, Andy's trying to save his dad off the tank tread, and Solo comes and gets him. He's on top of the tank with the German colonel, and they're fighting, and then they both go over the side. And you know, of course, it had to be puppeteers and puppets and stuff, because you watch and you see the little guy in the gun turret getting crushed. You know, the little puppet thing and the model. You can see how they did it, but then you're like, he's gone, and you know, the just the the intensity with Henry's like all this stoicism, all this cold dad, all this just went away, like, and the reality of life came to him. I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. That would have been enough, just a little bit. I mean, it was powerful. I mean, and plus, it does not hurt being the great actor that delivered it to, but the music also at the moment was fit in with it. That scene, just, you know, even though you knew Indiana Jones wasn't dead at that point, you just had to know he wasn't, but it looked like it.
Yeah.
But those actors conveyed it with such seriousness that they in the moment believed that he was dead, and it came through, and you got that same powerful feeling that hits you. Yep. And then when, they also inserted some comedy. The three are up there, and then he walks up like a bum, like hair disheveled, all dirty, like, oh, what's everybody looking at?
What are you looking at?
Yeah, and then he's like, but then just to turn around and to embrace the passion, you know, the love was amazing. That hey, you're here, and you know, it was like a true father-son moment. Just was so, you know, it was so, really, yeah. And actually, Indiana was George Lucas's dog. I remember that too. So, yeah. Although, see, Admiral T said he was wondering. Yeah, and Admiral T had wondered a little bit if Indy had made it, but but see, it's a version of a 2+ hour movie that's actually good and well paced for 2 hours plus, not one of those things that were a half hour longer than it needed to be. The second was obviously we talked about was when Henry was shot in the in the
Yes.
thing was that and then Glover, Donovan's like, it's time to ask yourself, what do you believe? And only the healing power of the Grail can save your father now. And it was like, and then again with the music, with everything, just the emotional scenes in those, the realism that came through was really, really incredible with what they had there.
Yeah.
So those are two of the scenes for me. We didn't even talk a lot about a lot of the humor that we could do in this, but maybe we can another time. So, see, Harrison Ford has a death wish for all his beloved characters. It seems like it, doesn't it?
I know. Kill them all off.
Yes, exactly. But, well, Daisy, I think on that note, we'll wrap it up. Did you have anything else pressing, big, that you really wanted to get out tonight?
Nope. I think we've did it all.
Yeah, so I'm just looking back through my notes and stuff. Really, really quickly. We talked about the three challenges. The three brothers, though, the myth that they put into there about the three brothers. One made it back to share the knowledge, and one stayed to defend. But one of my questions that this is how weird my brain is. Whatever happened to Donovan's wife after the movie?
Which one was Donovan's
Well, the
wife?
the woman in the apartment told him
that
you're ignoring your guest. Yes,
that's
it's like
right. That's right.
That's where my brain
I don't
goes.
know, she
was a rich woman then, probably.
Fine. Yes, she's very rich.
I wonder if she even cared if he didn't come back. Where, ma'am, your husband disappeared. I don't know where he is. I truly don't know where he went to. But yeah, it's
he disappears a lot.
Yeah. This time he never came back. But interesting. There was things like about the boundary and price of immortality, the let it go, those things in here. We talked about the write-off. So real quickly to think about this. Donovan marries the pool boy. Oh gosh.
They don't even have a pool.
Exactly. Oh, she planned a funeral after the movie.
Yes.
Now the dark humor's coming out. But Daisy,
she invited both of Indiana and his father to the funeral.
There you go. The chalice itself. They had the whole room of presentations about all kinds of stuff there. How did you like the way they took on it with the more average? It still was kind of classy in its way. It still had the gold shine on the inside. But how did that work with you, or was that important that they did that? Because they made the line that's the cup of a carpenter. That because it was not the big gold diamond jewel studded chalice.
I liked it, except I did think that the inside still has gold, so it still seemed a tad off, but I liked what they were going for. That it wouldn't be the Grail, wouldn't be the big, fancy, tall, encrusted with jewels and all of that. It would be the plain one.
You guys in the chat are wonderful, and they are PG-13. Hungry, we're good tonight. We're good. We're having some naughty humor, and we like naughty on this channel, especially later at night. We want like the sophisticated naughty, and the highbrow, low class humor, kind of thing. Or Garth Brooks. I got friends in low places. I don't know. I might have to sing that one night on karaoke. So hey, oh gosh. Oh, yeah. Hey, Admiral T. I assume they said nothing to Donovan's wife and saw her at the meeting of benefactors at the school's museum and accepted her money. Probably.
Correct.
Probably. What happens in the canyon of the crescent moon stays in the canyon of the crescent moon.
That is correct.
So we got 11 people here with us tonight. Any other thoughts, Daisy, with this movie? Oh, let me say this because this is the one thing I love the people in the chat. We've not had really a chance to integrate a lot of the chat tonight. That's Uh, and I've tried to where we could, but see, like Hungry says, that gold was used a lot in the old world though, because gold won't rust and can't poison you. Love the
Mm-hmm.
symbolism of it being a fully wooden chalice.
Yes,
And see,
that's
that's
what
a,
I like.
I see. I couldn't tell that it was wooden. I knew it was dull on the outside, but I couldn't quite. But my brain is like, how do you make gold? How do you make gold and wood together? I don't know. I guess it's possible.
Well, if you can do that, you have to carve the wood in a way such a way that when you put the gold into it, you know that they're going to match up.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you wouldn't pour molten gold into the wood; it would burn. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get lost on technical
but it
details
is
like that.
wood. It was
Yeah,
wood. It has
that's.
you. If you look at it, you can see the grains of the wood in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I just saw something dull or dingy. I wasn't sure what it was, but
Hmm.
okay, that does make sense. And see, Hungry, you can just coat the inside of the wooden chalice and add resin to the wood first.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay. All right.
cool.
Well, we got our resident artist. I know I'm in a great community of people that will know this stuff for me and help me answer my questions. My brain is small. It has questions. Like I can't wake up in time, or I can't uh, figure out that I'm got the tab muted again. So that was still funny. And folks, go back and watch our stream on Saturday night, late night with Dad Man and friends. Go to at least to the hour 45 mark and watch it to when I brought Hungry Boy on. If you want to see comedy, I've been told to go watch it. I've not watched it yet, but if you want to relive a golden moment of wonderful humor, it's fascinating from what I understand. But hey,
Hmm.
go catch that. Also, watch this on the replay. And we will talk to you more about what we're going to do later. But let's see. And this is positive. Well,
Yeah.
later Christians, it could have been done at that point before it got to the final resting place. Yeah. And see, that's kind of cool when you being able to speculate with some things like that too, and all.
Hmm.
So let me go to the poll, Daisy.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, because I can't see it.
okay, I'm going to go ahead and end it. We got 12 votes on this one. Wow. Make sure
Cool.
y'all hit that like button. We got 10 watching right now. Make sure you're still subbed to the channel because I don't know if YouTube unsubbed somebody today or whatever it is, but make sure you're stubbed and get the notifications. And should Daisy and I review Nuke the Fridge, the next movie? Yes, 66%, no 33%.
Oh, okay.
Now, we will say this, though. We will still, Daisy and I will talk. We want to make sure that we've done everything we want to with this movie and decide if we
Hmm.
want to do something else again. Once we've had a chance to talk about it and see if this deserves a part two, but we will grant their request. We'll do the fourth movie then. Is that okay, Daisy?
That's fine. I'll watch it again
We'll do it
for
at
the
this.
second time.
Exactly. Well, hey, but you know what? Honestly, it's one that might grow on both of us. I mean, I will tell you, I hated Temple of Doom. I hated this. I know people love Temple of Doom, but I truly hated the movie. But I was a
Hmm.
lot younger then, a lot more immature, um, more into sports, truly sports ball stuff. And if it wasn't anything sports ball, it was all chick stuff, just kind of, I was not at the mature stage of life, if you know what I mean. But when I saw Temple of Doom recently, I couldn't not like it except for the Broadway musical. That's still, I'm sorry, agreed, Bobby and everybody.
Okay.
It's just like, Daisy, the 14 million, that's the Dad Man show. Uh, repeating the same thing into the ground. But
Well,
it's
here's my commentary. I guess I'm still a child because I still don't like it.
well, there you go. You are a child. You are such a youngster, my friend. Great to see you tonight. Do you have any other thoughts, comments before we close up?
No, I'm good.
All right. So we may, what we might have to do, Daisy, in some way.
What?
Actually, I'm going to put it in private chat.
Are you giving me some homework?
No, I'm not.
I already have to watch the fourth movie for a second time.
No,
You know, there
So
are parts of that. There are parts of that movie. I will say,
yeah,
there are parts of that movie that
yeah,
I was okay with,
yeah.
and
Well,
then there were parts of it that was just, what are you talking about right now?
well, look at this. Hungry actually low tempo when I saw it, but appreciated after Crystal Skulls. Well, gosh, I wonder what you'd think after Dial of Destiny or
Well, I
Diarrhea,
think
whatever
a
it is.
lot of people have decided that Crystal Skull is not as bad as they thought because they did see Dial of Destiny.
Well, you know what? And this is something I'd like to talk about, Daisy, the idea that I sent, because I would like to
Oh,
do a bad guy comparison. So maybe we'll talk more about that, but a little bit, but because I still believe that the Germans are the best of the bad guys you could have anywhere. But I was
yeah, I
open to
don't think the
communists,
Russians were. Yeah, I don't think
huh?
they were as good as. I don't
Yeah,
think the
but it
Russians
it,
were
it
as
was kind
good
of
as the bad
disappointed
guys.
though. Yeah, it
Yeah.
fell flat. But hey, uh, he's like Daisy, give me your answer. Oh, okay.
Do
Uh,
give me an answer. Do. Oh yeah, because I've never heard that before.
yes. All right. Well, let me go ahead. That's it for tonight. With this movie. Daisy, thank you for being here. I need to just give me a second. I'll say goodbye, but
Mhm.
let me do this first. Like we always do, wrap up here. SEC football weekly tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Yes, I will not be asleep at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. I will make sure I'm up. Uh, with the great Mark D with a C, who's coming back to defend his undefeated title from last year. He's 12-0 last year. He reminds everybody, and we only have 6 games this week, but he's coming in. Folks, it's Florida Georgia weekend. I'm getting naively hopeful for my Gators. So join us tomorrow night for a fun stream. And Martin D with C will be with me on that. I do not here. This is what I got to do. This is what Mrs. keeps telling me F11. There, then I get rid of the thing at the bottom. So please, thank you. You told it, and I was thinking it. Thank you. But join Mark D with a C tomorrow and me tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for football. Then Friday night. This is a fun one, folks. Yeah. Daisy, I bet you've been seeing this one for a while. So I've gotten some
I
questions.
have. I have some speculations, but I shall keep them to myself.
Right. And nobody knows except me and the missus and whoever's involved. So, hey, join us Friday night at 9 p.m. to find out. We're going to have a special stream announcement. Folks, this might be out of this world. It might be another universe. Definitely may be something completely different for the dad man or what everybody associated with for the dad man. So
You're
come
not going
join
to
us.
multitask.
No, I'm not multitasking. This is going to be a fun one, I think. And but come join us Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, where we have a special stream announcement. I'll reveal these people and I'll tell you what's going on. So please make sure to be here for this out of this world event that night on Friday, Cybertron.
Cybertron.
Hadn't even thought about that one, but hey, you never know one day. And we need to have another Transformer stream too, because that was great studying. And I know you got a lot of compliments for your knowledge out there on the Transformers.
Yeah, you're very knowledgeable.
And then on Sunday, Halloween candy, the good, the bad, and the epic. It will. Yeah, Lisa, you're welcome for all the suspense. I just like making people wait. You ought to be Mrs. Dadman. She's like, just do it, damn it. It's like,
tell me.
Get to the point. So, yes. But hey, Sunday, it'll be me, the Mrs. Hungry Boy, and another surprise guest joining us for this wonderful time. We're going to talk about Halloween candy and have a lot of fun Sunday night. We will definitely have a good fun time with this, and hope to see y'all there for this too. But
more
of course,
question marks.
What?
You keep inviting lots of question marks.
Well, I like drama. Well, I like the good drama. I like good drama. I like the suspense. It's part of the.
Okay.
I don't know. Hungry says I'm a showman sometimes, but an accountant has to do something to keep people on their seats and scared or something. We got to have surprises.
Gotcha.
So, or the auditor. Our auditor is more scary than an accountant.
That's true.
So, oh yeah, Tootsie Rolls will be commended for Klobby. Yes, and I'm looking forward to hearing some about the 1979 Tootsie Roll. I did not realize there was a special thing about a 70s Tootsie Roll. So, all right.
Okay.
Well, we got 11 with us tonight. Thank you, everybody that's been here, being here. Thank you for all your support. through these Indiana Jones movies. We'll let you know what we were going to do. Definitely, Daisy and I. Let's see. Next month is it's the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. I think we're okay with that on our schedules. But check. We'll put stream updates to tell you when we'll do stuff, when we'll meet. But generally, this time of Daisy is set for the last Wednesday of the month, and we try to keep it.
We'll have to talk about November.
Yep, exactly. So, but if not, we'll be again once a month when we can do it the next time. Daisy, it's always a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me. It's really fun to do these movies, and I'm glad everyone is so into it in the chat. You guys are great.
Yeah, absolutely. So remember, the live streams and videos are on youtube.com, twitch.tv at dadmanwalking55, and follow me over on Twitter or X at dadmanwalking55. Remember, it's the same name everywhere, dadmanwalking55, including the G with the banana football avatar. If you see anything different, it's not me. It's there you go. It's only one. It's the same everywhere we go because Dad Man likes uniformity, and then I don't have to remember multiple things. So, and thank you, Fabstream, articulate and erudite. And I still do not know what that means. People keep explaining it to me, but I can't seem to remember that word. But I'll have to put it above my computer or something. Well, with 12 people still here watching us, thank you all for that. On the Twitch side, make sure you follow us there. On the YouTube side, we're trying to get to 500. We're 6 away now, thanks to the YouTube guides. But we'll get there with your help, your support. Tweet it out to everybody. Tweet the channel out to everybody. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your patience tonight. Thank you. I tell you, I think I have the greatest chat anywhere and subscribers anywhere, because this is another case where a train wreck happened. I mean, it's like 30 minutes in and nobody panicked and y'all stayed. And we still had a stream because you guys stayed here, hung out, and thank you.
Sorry. Highlight Mrs.'s message. I'm sorry.
Yes, at Hungry for Real, Super Scroll Marvel. They talk real good and are pretty smart.
That's what those two words means. Articulate as you talk very well. An erudite tends to mean you're pretty smart.
Wait, what Xbox? I'm not the Xbox person. I don't have Xboxes. Oh, you hit your ham. So, and Lisa's been working. Hey, absolutely. That's what we're here for. Listen, if we can make your days good, whether you're struggling, had a bad day, not feeling good, coming in, I can boomer it. Or, I mean, I don't even try to boomer it. I mean, just, and we sit back and have conversations. We laugh, we cry together and all. And whether we keep you're lurking and you're working and stuff, or whether you're not feeling well, that's what we're here for, folks. And that, hopefully you get a small measure of happiness and enjoy while you're here with us, and look forward, to all of these things together. So yes, I know this algorithm nightmare. It is crazy. So it is crazy. So yeah, Admiral Teague had one where it's crazy. I'll tell you about that later.
It is.
So.
Yes, I know.
Exactly. And Hungry's thanking the missus for translating Hungry speak. So with that, all folks, y'all have a wonderful good night, and we will see you next time. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, with SEC football with Martin D with a C. And please come join it. I'll make sure you have fun. Bring your questions, and we'll have fun. We'll definitely be talking about tailgating and food. So come for food tomorrow night at least. All right. On that note, Daisy, you good night, and everybody else, good night.
Good night.